What's up, everybody? I'm Chase Brogan. With me, Marcus Buff Bagwell.
What's up?
Man, this is going to be great tonight. So we've got a bunch of people joining us, but the whole purpose of this, guys, is to raise money for Nasty Boy, WWE legend, Brian Knobbs. So there is a link pinned to the top of your chat over here on the side of the screen. The link right there goes to GoFundMe. If you could part with even $1, a couple dollars, whatever you can part with, it's going to go directly to Brian Knobbs. And all the money coming from this live stream right here, going right to Brian as well. So the whole point here is to raise money, raise awareness, and help our brother out.
Great cause, brother.
Absolutely. Now,
Hurricane Milton, right?
It was Hurricane Milton that wiped out the house there. That
No
was
car.
back. It's a tough situation for him right now. So he's going through it. He was in the hospital. He got out, was able to go to a rehab facility. And then from there ended up with, the little emergency the other night, had to go back to the emergency room. So, man, it's been a tough go, but he's hanging on there, but we're trying to help him. And we've got a lot of people coming on tonight to do exactly that.
It's going to be a blast.
So we've got our first guest waiting, ready to go with us right now. So we're going to welcome in great friend of both of us now, Mark Marrow.
Hey guys, man, thank you
buddy?
guys for having me, man. I just flew in from Denver, and this was just paramount that I come on this tonight. I want to come on early and just show my support and obviously donate and just encourage everyone to help out Brian Knobbs. Obviously Buff Bagwell and we've got a lot of Brian Knobbs stories, and Buff, tell me if I'm wrong, but he was the loudest guy in the locker room. He was just the most boisterous, fun guy.
It really is hard to be the loudest wrestler in the locker room, but he was always the loudest and the funniest. You were just never safe around Brian because you're just everybody's in the bullseye, brother. And it's like, just thank God that Brian likes me. Oh God, thank God.
He was so much fun, though, and what's so cool is when we do these wrestling conventions and how you get to see, guys that you obviously were with back in whether WCW or WWE or whatever. And it was just always great to see the Nasty Boys, man. And especially Brian, because he had that personality that was just over the top. And, to see him struggling now and what he's going through, I want to see that old Brian back, man, where he's just yelling at everybody, up in arms, hugging everybody. He's just a fun, jolly guy, man.
Well, a little bit of history here. So Brian Knobbs and Sags as the Nasty Boys was Scorpio and Mark Bagwell's very first tag team championship. And at that junction of my career, the Nasty Boys now and then, but then were superstars, bro. They were from the WWF and they came down to the WCW to help us out. And for me and Scorpio to actually get a win over the Nasty Boys for our first World Tag Team Championship, it's a big deal, brother.
Oh man, yes. And the thing was, they were about doing business. They were helping out two young guys that are coming up and willing to just do the right thing and build you guys up and become the superstars that you guys became.
They were so easy to work with, like you said, so professional. And because these are two tough guys, two tough brawlers. I mean, Sags was really tough, and so was Knobbs. I mean, they didn't play around, and guys knew that, so they could back up the talk, so that's all. And it was, but they were super, super good guys. Everybody just loved to have the Nasty Boys in the locker room. They are the ones that kept it fun.
I can't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more, Marcus, and I thank everybody, man. So many people are coming on this live stream right now. And I thank you guys, and anything that you could donate to help out Brian, our good buddy, man, would be so appreciative. And when we get in that ring, we give you guys our all, and we give our bodies to you. And obviously, I don't know anyone that's been in the business as long, like Marcus, anyone that's been in the business as long as you or I have been. We know we all go through our health issues, man. Yes. We both have had numerous surgeries. I don't know anybody that's had less than 5 or 6 surgeries. You've had probably close to 10 or 20 now, right?
Yes.
He had 5 or 6 this past year, I think.
Yeah. Over 30 now, but still several surgeries for all of us. Crazy stuff. It really is. But I want people to know that what I saw out of this was he put for a goal $30,000. This man lost his house, his car, and he may lose his foot over this. And his goal amount was 30 grand. People, please don't look at that figure. He's just so humble and such a good guy. But 30 grand ain't going to start to fix a house and a car and being amputated with your foot. Let's really try to do what we can for him this 3 hours.
Right.
You know, and it will get him back on his feet again. You know, he's so appreciative of it, though. You know, he's a humble guy, and he's appreciative of whatever we can give him. But I really want to see us get to that goal and surpass that goal and really help out a fellow a wrestler, man. This is a great cause. I thank you guys enough for spearheading this. And there's so many of us brothers from the business that are going to be helping out and trying to make a difference for Brian. But the fans out there, thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For sure. And I also want to take the time to just acknowledge Fred Jung, who is a close friend of Brian. He's the one that really grabbed the reins with this. He started the GoFundMe to help out his I think 25-year-old friendship with Brian is what, you know, sparked that. But great guy. He was a big part of this behind the scenes as well. So Fred Jung, I really like to, you know, just get his name out there and certainly give him some attention on this too. Wouldn't have been possible without him.
And RC from New York City, thank you for the donation, man. I just seen you donate some money. Appreciate that, man, so much. And if you guys can help out, man, keep it going. Let's make tonight a really special night, a memorable night for Brian.
Absolutely.
Mark, as you know, it's hard to get all these guys together. It's scheduling and just different people, different timings. And really, man, it's amazing how the wrestlers do come together in these situations, though.
Right.
You know, Marcus, one of the things I noticed that, you know, in wrestling, like in life, you don't always get along with each other, you know. And the amazing thing about doing these wrestling conventions that we haven't seen each other, some of us haven't seen each other in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Man, it's like this camaraderie. There's no bitterness or resentment or anger from the past. It's like, man, we all did something that not many people get to do in life. And it's like, man, I cannot remember going to a convention where I don't care who it was, someone you may not have got along with. It's like you shake hands and there's a big hug and, man, miss you, brother, you know?
Yes, of course.
And I want to make a mention to the live chat here. All the money. So if you send super chats, we're trying to really promote the GoFundMe. So I would encourage people to go over to that. But if you do send super chats, we will be forwarding that on to Brian as well. It's just going to takes a little bit longer. So we definitely are promoting the highlighted link up there at the top for the GoFundMe that goes direct to Brian without us having to, you know, forward it on ourselves. So that's what we're really trying to promote over here for everyone. And yes, I saw somebody said there's ads during lives. There's ads on YouTube with everything now, but rest assured the ad revenue, all that stuff right to Brian. So we're literally every cent that comes from tonight in any capacity right over to Brian Knobs.
And Dan Lutzka, thank you for the donation. I just see you donated also.
Thank you so much.
Wishing Brian the best. And we all are wishing the best. And he's going to pull through. He's not a nasty boy for nothing, okay? He's going to pull through this. But with your help, man, he'll at least get his life started again, you know, be able to afford housing and things that he really needs right now.
Have you ever had the opportunity, Mark, and I'm calling it opportunity, to visit Pity City?
You know, Mark, I look at that. I got to be honest with you. Yes, I know. But I want to be really honest with you. I look at it as a blessing. I never got to visit Pit City. Okay.
It was a wonderful
I know when he did that to you, your life has never quite been the same.
It's a baffling experience.
You know, hey, how's that spot called where you just go, hey, I'm going to be putting you in my armpit? How bad has that got to be? Like, oh my gosh, thinking about that all match.
I don't want to ruin the gimmick for him, but the problem with it is they were two of the cleanest guys in the world. Thank God.
Yes, they were.
City wasn't that bad, but man, it got a pop from. It was like Pit City. I mean, Pit's really nice, so it was your visit. They had a nice shaved pit, and they had a little deodorant in there, so it wasn't too bad of a visit to Pity City.
I feel like they could have made that a rib for you. Put something stinky in there. Put a little fish in there first, or if they really wanted to, they could.
I'm surprised they didn't. You're right. So that's right up their alley.
Right.
Hey guys, we just got a nice donation from Joe Icade. We were just saying, God bless Brian. Love you guys. That's awesome, man. Joe, thank you so much, man. From the bottom of our hearts, we are really going to work hard to raise this money for Brian. And thank you guys, man. I know we all work hard in life, and this money means a lot. So thank you for parting your ways with that and helping him out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joe K. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Buff, you are looking good, my friend. Man, it's so good to see you back in the gym working hard. Incredible, man. I tell you, you're just, I don't know what the word. You're talking about having 9 lives, okay?
Yeah, way beyond 9, bro.
Really, but I'm so happy to see you. And you know what? You got the greatest girl. Stacy is the greatest, man. And she keeps you in line.
She does. She really is. I've never dated a woman that really was, that I would first say is a great human being. Yeah. And I mean, she's a great human, man. She's just a good person that is just, and it just reeks from her, and it makes me better. It really does. And I already was on getting better with my life anyway. And it just came together at such a great time with me and her, and just
perfect timing, man.
Been fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. I think everything kind of aligns for the right reasons. I'm noticing that a lot this week. Everything with this tonight really aligned perfectly.
Yes.
We couldn't be more grateful for the amount of people that are going to be joining us tonight, and we even have a few surprises for everybody that's sitting in with us too.
So, Mark, did you hear about the setback with Brian last night?
I did, and that's why when I heard about that, I'm just praying that everything, I guess he's back in the hospital and he's stabilized and he's doing okay right now. Yeah, right. So yes, I'm so glad that he is okay, but he's touch and go, man, and that's why we're helping him, and we need help from our fans and friends out there.
Yes,
absolutely. And we've got another one right here from Sean. And again, I want to highlight the link up here direct to his GoFundMe. We will forward everything on, but just make note of the fact that we do lose a little bit, kind of in the transition from YouTube. They get a cut and all that. So if you can hit the GoFundMe, it's a big help. And I'm noticing we're almost $1,000 over where we started tonight on the GoFundMe. So thank you all so much for that. Really appreciate that.
Wow,
thank you, Sean Michael here too. Love watching.
Within 15 minutes. That's great.
It's a hell of a start, guys. We really appreciate that. Thank you all so much. What's going on, Tim? Thoughts and prayers. Just going to pull up some of these comments here. It's nasty time. There we go. Appreciate you guys. Love it. But wow, that's impressive, guys. I mean, almost $1,000 already on the GoFundMe, plus the money in here. I mean, really, everybody's absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
and we'll be doing this for a couple hours too. So we'll let you go, Mark Merrow, in a little bit. But we've got a lot of guests coming. Maven Huffman, YouTube superstar, is going to be our next guest on after you, Mark Merrow.
Oh man, he's great. I'm hoping to do his podcast at some point. He's a real guy. We've been kind of communicating back and forth, so hopefully that's going to happen.
Absolutely, that's going to be great.
It's been kind of a whirlwind, guys. I tell you, Marcus, when you really think about it, it's been, you think 25, 30 years ago that we were all doing this on a regular basis, and of course, being with the Nasty Boys, and it's so nice to see the fans that still obviously remember the matches, remember the times, and remember the fun that we would have back then. It's just incredible.
It really is. I mean, you look, like I remember just 5 years ago telling a story and then going, wait a minute, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. And I find myself doing the same thing.
And now it's been 30 years ago, It's just crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Did you guys ever think that wrestling would be what it is today from, your early start? You both started around 91, 92, right?
Yeah.
Mark, I know
Go ahead,
Mark's got a
Marcus.
story I know Mark's got a story like this too, but I can tell you he knows who Chip Burnham is. But I have been on the street corner with Chip Burnham outside of center stage with my wrestling attire on, trying to get people to come into center stage for a free television taping. And it was only a 500-seat building. Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Mark Merrow watched WCW go from a free television taping that we had to give a bicycle away halfway through to get them to stay, to selling out the Georgia Dome. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wrestling's came so far, and now with all these cons and stuff, I mean, nobody ever thought there was life after wrestling ever. And now it's crazy. The old is new. It's really bizarre.
You know, Marcus, you see the kind of money that they're making today, you know, and it's just been incredible to see it take off the way it has. And, you know, the way I look at it today is that, for example, they don't have to travel like you and I did. They're not doing 250 cities a year anymore.
TV, brother.
And but that keeps you sharp, you know, working a lot. But I tell you that it would be kind of hard when you're only doing like TV tapings and wrestling, you know, 4 or 5 times a month compared to, you know, 25 times a month.
It was nobody really believes when I tell them that 280, 300 days a year plus 300 once or twice. But it was a vicious schedule. It was vicious.
And you have travel days in there too. That's how many days you were wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely.
I mean, I traveled down to Atlanta back, and I'm exhausted. You guys were traveling loops. I mean, it was endless for you guys.
The difference,
and sometimes doing 2 shows in a day. You know, doing an afternoon show, a matinee, and then doing an evening show. Doing Madison Square Garden in the afternoon and doing Philadelphia at night. You know, many times.
That double shot was a killer, but it really started separating let's call it the men from the boys necessarily, but the guys that were in really, really in shape and the guys that wasn't, you could really tell by television who was really training, because when you get a double shot, you try to get a workout in, it separates the men from the boys, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Well, guys, I got to tell you, I just got off the road from Denver, and I'm just coming into my home, and I just want to make sure I got on here and just encourage everybody to keep pushing for Brian, man. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor. It's an honor to help a fellow wrestler, especially a great person like Brian, who we all love and have had a lot of fun with in our life, man. Thank you guys. And fans and friends out there, thank you guys for the donations, man. Keep it going. And let's go way past that $30,000 that he even asked for. He obviously need a lot more than that, but do everything you can to make it work. Okay. God bless you all, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Congratulations on the new book too.
Oh, thank you, man. Take care.
Hey, Johnny,
absolutely.
Mark, you want to talk about your book for a sec?
You know, my book just came out last week. It's called Bad, B-A-D-D, Too Good. And it's my autobiography, man. I get to share some things that I've never shared before, and just dug down deep. It took me over a year to write this, and it just came out. It's doing really good. It's a bestseller on Amazon already. So I've been blessed, man. So, but thank you guys.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, let's pull up some of these comments here. So we got Tim Malcolm, $100. Thank you so much, Tim. Buff, I still want my doll.
Is that our boy?
That is Tim Malcolm.
Hey,
appreciate
Tim, what's
Tim.
up?
Love it. We've got JT here. Thank you so much. We've got Ryan Brown here. Thank you guys so much. Really, really, really appreciate all of these. We've got George down here as well. Thank you so much. Now, I want to make sure that you guys are aware there is a pinned link at the top of your live chat here. That'll take you right over to the GoFundMe for Brian. All that goes direct to him. We're, of course, going to take all the proceeds from this live stream right here and talk about ad revenue, the super chats, everything. All of that's going to Brian as well. Just keep in mind that with GoFundMe, there's no fees, there's no commissions, there's nothing like that. So that number that you see on the GoFundMe, straight to Brian Knobs. So we're trying to really promote that today. That GoFundMe is up to $91.28 right now. So over $9,000 raised. That is absolutely incredible.
So this is a great one. Look, Chase, George here.
Sorry, guys. This is all I can do as a disabled dad. I had to give something, though. Love you all. Love you all. Side note, Buff, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, George. That is a great one. Love that.
Thanks, George. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And just the generosity of everybody that's in here with us today. Thank you all so much. We've got a long night ahead of us. We got a lot of special guests joining us. So this is going to be pretty amazing tonight. And our next guest will be joining us in about 5 minutes. We've got Maven Huffman joining next. And from there, we've got a special little surprise for you guys that somebody will be dropping in. But we've got Goldberg, we've got Booker T, we've got Boogeyman's going to be joining us later. We've got Sting. I mean, so many great people that have taken the time out of their day to join us for this great cause. We've got Arcade Chaos here, super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now, while we're in between guests right here, I want to show you guys something. We had a very special guest that was scheduled, and his schedule last minute changed. I'm going to show you a quick video that this guy was kind enough to share with us tonight.
Thank you, Buff, for putting this together. I'm sorry I'm on a plane going to Las Vegas promoting real American beer for the huckster. Listen, just to give you an update, I talk to Brian every day, one half of the greatest tag team in the world, the Nasty Boys. He's doing so much better. Thank everybody for their prayers. Thank you for your contributions. Every little bit helps. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy the South. I love it. The mouth from the South.
Mouth from the South. And he was super excited to be a part of this last minute change in travel. He had to fly with Hogan to Las Vegas today. He's probably in the air right now. So very kind of him to take some time this morning to film that. And just very generous. Appreciate that, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's see what we've got here. How about a question while we're in between guests? Matthew Rodriguez, Buff, question: thoughts on timeless Toni Storm? What do you think of her character?
You know, she has always been, every time she comes on, I'm always very intrigued. She's obviously a very good wrestler. I love how they changed the color of the screen to black and white. I really do love what they got going on. That's one of the best things on AEW, I think, is with her and the other girl that I can't remember. I'm not good with their names, guys, but there's another blonde that kind of came up together, and now they're kind of feuding, and it just seems to draw my attention every time.
Absolutely. And we talked about this last time we were on the live stream. She's one of those wrestlers today that is totally over.
Oh yeah. She is over, no doubt. I mean, like, if you know, she'll draw a line real quick, buddy. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. She goes to the WrestleCons and stuff, and she's usually with High Spots, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, Jessica Flick, $50. We appreciate the super sticker there. Thank you so much. Again, all of that right to Brian Knobs today. Mr. Skinny TV, love y'all from the Township Auditorium Terrace. And we've got Robert down here. Wish I could do more, retired, and $1,500 a month. Don't go far. Had to do something for the entertainment you guys gave me for years. Love that, Robert. Man, the cost of living is through the roof these days. I totally get it, but thank you so much for the generosity here.
Thank you, Robert.
And everybody else in here, I don't want to ignore anybody, but obviously there's a lot of people in here with us. We got 325 in here at the moment. So thank you all for being here with us tonight. This is really going to be something that I think's never been done. I haven't seen, a bunch of the boys rally around somebody in a long time. So this is going to be really fun tonight.
If I was to set out and had a bunch of money to pull these guys together to do something like this, it's very hard to pull off, man. It just the scheduling and nothing, no egos involved, just timing in people's lives and time zones. And it's just,
the time zones. Don't get me started on those time zones. I messed up with Boogeyman today. So
right.
I got to apologize to Boogie tonight, because he was ready to go. And I was like, he goes, where's
everybody?
Your
battery, baby. Yes.
So Boogeyman will be with us later today, though. He was ready to go before we were ready to go tonight.
Right.
That time change is tough, man. In different parts of different states, like Florida's got one section, right? That's Central Time Zone.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it does.
So it's always making it complicated. It's not a straight line anywhere. You have to. And there's somewhere you told me about this where one state does daylight savings and one part doesn't. Something
Indianapolis, to my knowledge, is one of the only states, if not the only one, that half the state does daylight savings and the other half does not.
Wow.
And that blows my mind. But I know for a fact, and the reason why I know is because me and Sting can confirm this story. One night we were late. We were an hour late to a house show.
Wow.
And Grizzly Smith was our guy, was our agent. And he's like, "What are you doing, guys?" I'm like, "We're so sorry, Grizz, and he said, "Well, okay." So the next night, me and Sting were an hour early.
Wow.
And we're like, "What's going on?" And he told us that night about the daylight savings. That was 30 years ago. And I'm telling you, people still don't quite believe that story. That's a true story. If you can check on it if you want. And Indiana itself is one of only a few states that does that. I think Hawaii it's something weird in Hawaii where they don't do daylight. I think it's 3 states: Indiana, Hawaii, and Arizona. I think are the 3, but Indiana is the only one that half of it does and half of it don't. Very confusing, crazy.
Absolutely. And to add to the confusion, our next guest who's ready to come on here had to mess with me a little bit today. Just sent me a text message saying that he wasn't sure about the time zone too. And he don't even live that far from me. Maven Huffman. What's going on, brother?
Hold on, guys. I can't hear you. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. No worries. So we've got some super chats to pull up here. Let's see. Let's see. Robert, thank you so much for that one.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you.
There's me and technology for you, Mark. There's technology.
You not knowing technology, explain this.
I don't have a clue what to do. They were supposed to work.
Hey, you can hear us. We can hear you. We're good.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching you guys, and Mark looked like he was deep into a story, and I couldn't hear shit. Maybe they got me turned off. They don't want me interrupting them.
No.
No. Now they're coming up on here.
You can hear us now?
I always look like I'm deep into a story.
We usually are deep into a story, Mark.
I'm always deep in, brother.
Well, if there's someone that probably has an endless supply of story, it is you. It is you. You're looking great.
Thank you, bro.
You look fan. Last time I saw you, I think we were in Dallas, and you were coming off of a leg injury, and you were using the crutch to get around. You look fantastic, my brother.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Always happy to see you. Always happy to see you doing well, enjoying what you're doing. Keep it up. Like I said,
one of the few guys, not few, but I will say one of the few guys that always from jump we clicked. Always. Thank you for that. It means a lot, but you always were a fair, good guy, and we were never in the same company. We just always clicked.
And I think we did that show in Boston, if I remember correctly, in 2007 together. That I wrestled Test, and I think you were in the main event against DDP, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
And
brother, you're beating my memory right here.
Yeah, well, I remember it because it was one of the last matches I had before I left the business and went and did other stuff. And it was the last time I ever worked with Andrew with Test. And that was the day that it was a pretty big show. And I think that was like the first time you and I ever you know, I'd seen you in passing once or twice, but that was the first time we ever got to like spend quality time together.
Yes.
And
I think me and Tess had words, of course. Do you remember that?
Well, I don't remember that, but like Andrew was a curmudgeon. If he wasn't in your circle, he told me when I moved to Florida in 2008, he lived in Channelside in Tampa, and he let me stay with him for a couple of weeks while HSN was getting my house and stuff together. And like in day 2, he told me, he was like, yeah, bro, I used to fucking hate you. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you don't now. Like,
well, brother,
that's just how he was.
It was very bizarre, but I never met him, not being ugly, but I really didn't know who he was. I just didn't. And he didn't know I didn't know him. It wasn't nothing like that. But he just came off his hip with, I stole my top hat from the guitar dude.
Oh, Slash.
And I went,
yeah.
What? I said,
yeah.
Are you kidding, brother? I don't even know what you're talking about, but that's not true. But even if it was,
who cares?
What?
Yeah, who cares?
But even to be that kind of guy, I knew obviously me and this cat ain't going to click.
Yeah,
and we didn't.
Well, you know what though, Mark, I'm glad you and I clicked.
Yes.
And you and I've seen each other, you know, every few years, and every time it's like we just pick right back up. You're one of the guys that and I hope you don't mind me saying this. You're one of the guys. You're one of the guys that gets heat, and I will never understand why, because you're literally the nicest guy. And I don't know if it's one of two things. It's either people don't know you or they're jealous of you. And it's one of those two.
Yeah. And you're right. And again, it's really weird. I don't know either, but it's like, I've got a few people that have got good stories that they saw things happen like right before their eyes. And one of them was Chase, I can't remember his last name, the good looking boy with the long hair that was TNA. But he saw a dude do something to me, and then somehow or another it came out on the internet that it was something I did to him, and it was just he said I watched it happen. I said, brother, I live that. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You know. But it is weird that, I mean, if you say you had a negative altercation with Marcus Bagwell, you're lying.
Yeah.
Because it just don't happen, bro. Unless you come up swinging at me or you come up ugly, you know, yeah, it could possibly happen. But I try to be pretty nice to everybody. That's from your upbringing. You know, my mom and dad were, you know, that we got whipped for not saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, of course. And the apple don't fall far from the tree with that.
Or you and I both grew up in the South. Yes. And it's a different type of raising. I know, like literally, I didn't call somebody yes, sir, one time. And my dad grabbed me back by the back of the arm here, hit that tendon, and yanked me out of the room and put a finger in my face. And it never happened again.
Never. We always got, my mom would give us this one.
They're grabbing by the cheeks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And brother,
well, public, that's a good one because you can guide people around. You can guide people around then.
You're to this day, I got PTSD from it because if I get embarrassed to this day, I'm dangerous. So I try not to get myself in those situations because she would whip you. She would take you off first base and whip you and put you back on the base, you know?
Yeah.
And you'd be out there, quit crying or you're going to get beat again.
Yep. Yep.
How old are you, Maven?
I'm 48. Yeah, 48. Okay. Yeah, and gosh, just happy that more guys our age are getting out and able to tell our stories.
Yes,
I think the business, and I don't watch much wrestling these days, but it's such a different business than when we were.
It really is
doing it. And I think it's more geared towards, you know, everybody's got their own brand and stuff. And I'm just happy that guys our age are able to get our brand out because we missed out on it. Mark, let me ask you something, Mark. If had Instagram and Twitter and all that been out, how many subscribers would you have now?
Brother,
if that would have been out.
Brother, it was a whole different, I look at it like when I hear Jim Brown talk about running backs nowadays, how if he was a running back nowadays, brother, there was no internet when we had this. So there was no get your action figure on the internet. You had to order it through the catalog. So it made a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars of a difference.
Tons. Yeah, absolutely.
Right quick, Maven, do you have any, do you know Brian? Do you know him well?
I know him from after my WWE days. I know him from the convention days. And I have a funny story where we were out at, right outside of New York. And the girl I was dating at the time, did the signing, did everything. Afterwards, obviously go to the bar. And we go up to the bar. I get a call. The girl I'm dating at the time looks over at me like deer in headlights, and Knobs has her pinned to the bar, and she looks at me like, help. And I look at it, and and I'm like, that's just Knobs. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine. And she's like, last time I talked to her and saw her, she still had that picture with him. And
I love it.
And it's okay. I understand where maybe like, okay, you're scared, but it's harmless. He means nothing by it. He's having fun. If there's anybody who I would trust you with, while I wasn't there, you're in his hand. You're in his presence right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chavo Guerrero, what's up, my brother?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, Chavo?
Maven, what's happening, dude? How you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm good. Good to see you. Well done on the movie. I can't think of the name real quick. I got it.
The Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I got an advanced showing of it at my theater here. Well, amazing story, and I know you were instrumental in telling it, Chavo.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was a good one, man. I was working directly with Sean Durkin, the director, on that, and training all the actors and putting all the scenes together and rewriting scripts with them. It was really cool to be part of that because the Von Erichs and the Guerreros had a huge history for years and years. Yeah. And we had a big rivalry in a sense. We were West Texas, they were Middle Texas, and we had a promotion, they had a promotion. We always thought we were better. They thought they were better, and they were better. But it was always really cool. But to be part of that was really, really awesome. So thank you.
And you would working in it too. Like I just thought that for a story that it's probably amazing it took this long to be told. It had to be told the right way, and I'm glad that you were there to make sure that happened.
You know what? Anytime I do a production, I really let the people know. I go, guys, I'm putting my name on this. So anything that's wrong with it, that I see wrong, I have to tell you. Hopefully you listen to me, because once we have that built-in audience, that wrestling fan audience, I know that that's not just for them, it's for the world, but we have that loyal audience, and they're so loyal. But as soon as we tell it wrong or we get it not correct, they split. And if they split, other people start splitting. So that's kind of like my big thing. And usually, for the most part, 99%, the productions will listen to me. In fact, I just did a movie with Spielberg. I just finished it. Not to drop names, but I literally just
drop it.
That's one to drop. That's one to drop.
100%, man. And he was a wrestling fan from way back. He was telling me we're exchanging Andre the Giant stories and Olympic Auditorium stories. Wow. But he was super cool and really was like, okay, just, and it wasn't huge. It wasn't a wrestling movie. It was a big scene in it, but he was literally, tell me what you think. What should we do right? Okay, that's different. Okay, how about this? And we would make it work. It was really cool.
That is
cool.
That is awesome. Wow.
Chavo, did you ever wrestle Nasty Boy Knobs?
Did I wrestle him? I never wrestled him. I partied with him so many different times.
Give me a story.
Man, I mean, how many of them? So
can you remember any of them?
Yeah, right. One time we were, we always bust each other's balls. You know them. They're constantly digging. Well, I dig right back to them. You know how it goes. So we're doing a Comic-Con one time. Our lines are gone. Well, then my line starts getting a little shorter. And then Brian looks over. Hey, Chavo, look how long our lines are. It's way longer than your line. I said, well, yeah, because you guys aren't going to be around much longer. They got to hurry up and get your autograph before you guys.
Oh, good one.
And everybody started dying. I had a couple of FUs from those guys. It was
of course. I'm surprised you're still living.
It was great. Right? They are too. Every time I would see Brian, he would tell me, I'm still kicking. I'm still going.
I was telling Mark Marrow that I was able, actually, there's a lot of history with the Nasty Boys for me, because, they were the infamous, the unbelievable WWF, and they came down to the WCW. They were the big stars that came down to us. And so me and Too Cold, that was our very first tag titles ever. Wow. And it was a big deal, brother, to beat the Nasty Boys.
They were rough humble, man. You guys worked for that one. I know that because they didn't give it to you.
Absolutely. But I was telling Mark it was a nice place to visit, Pity City.
Yeah. Pity
Do you remember that gimmick?
Oh, yes.
The heat was always on the pretty boy, right. And it was always pick him up and arm would go up and it was Pity City. Your face right in his pit.
Yes, I saw that all the time. Every time I see it,
did you know that, Maven?
Yeah. I remember that.
I visited Pity City. I'm the mayor of Pity City.
Damn, that's crazy. That's kind of like Rikishi had that kind of
stink face.
Stink face, right?
That was worse.
When when one person is taking the stink face, it's kind of sucks. But me and Eddie, one time we said, oh, hey, well, let's, we'll take the, you give us both the squishy in the corner, we'll both go down, give us both a stink face. And he's like, oh, okay, great. Well, when you both get it, you get the side of the cheeks, not the middle. So every night we'd be like, hey, bro, give it to us both, man. Give it to us both.
Yeah, it's easier.
Like, man, these guys are constantly, man, they're so giving. Well, actually, we just didn't want to take it in the middle.
Absolutely.
You found a workaround.
We worked around it.
You found a workaround.
Yes.
Mark, it's great you're doing. It's great you're doing this for Knobs. How often do you get to actually see him these days?
A good bit, I would say. At least once a month, I see him at a signing somewhere, and he's God bless him, but he's always in a little bit of bad shape with his. He's on a cane, but so have I been. I've been in bad shape too with the leg and all that stuff. But Sags looks really good, and is even a lot thinner and stuff. But Knobs, he's in a battle, and like a lot of us are, but he is always Brian Knobs, man, laughing loud, just the same old Brian we all remember, and he just so many great memories. But Chase, I got to give all the credit to Chase on this thing. He thought of this whole thing, and he's like, man, that's genius. That'd be a great thing to do, and Brian will love it. It'll be and then Brian goes out and sets his goal for $30,000, and I was like, man, he needs a lot more than 30. This is a house and a car, and he's in bad shape, and he can't make any money. Medical expenses,
yeah, it's a lot of.
So we're really promoting the fact that don't look at that goal amount. All the fans need to realize he needs much more than 30. But it's awful humbling that he only asked for 30. But this guy needs help.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of people donating too, and of course we're promoting the GoFundMe, but anything that comes here through YouTube, that's going to go over to Brian as well. So we got Julio here. Thank you so much. We got Get Me One More Beer. Thank you for the $9.99 there. Appreciate that. We got RGT85. Take the health problems to Pity City.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, RGT. We got Sammy Boy Smith over here. Appreciate that. And we've got another one down here. So, man, this is incredible. Thank you all so much. There's so many of them to highlight here. But, of course, guys, check out the GoFundMe link that's pinned to the top of the chat here. that's going to be the best way to donate. That goes straight to him. We're going to forward all this over to him as well. But of course, some of it gets lost in the process with getting it from YouTube. So hit the GoFundMe link up there. I'm going to check on it right now. You guys have already, it's at $9,528. Wow. So awesome. Incredible.
That's awesome.
You know, guys,
that's a good call. That's a good call to action, Chase. That's a great call to action.
Everybody that's watching right now, any of the fans watching right now. So you guys, you know, the perception, especially when we were, you know, the Nasties are older than I am. So perception was that, you know, these guys were traveling the world making so much money, and what do they do with all their money? You know, really, that wasn't the case. You know, now they didn't, not saying that they didn't do well, but the road expenses, living on the road, you know, 280, 300 days a year, paying for all your stuff, you know, your own gear, your own rental cars, your own hotels, you know, your own, you know, paying taxes. You got to pay those taxes. Kills you, man. So being self-employed tax, you know, all the different stuff, but really, you didn't make what, especially what the guys are making now. I mean, these guys are making, you know, thank God that it finally got there, because, you know, every generation makes more. My dad made more than his dad. I made more than them. And now these guys are making like crazy money, which is finally got there. Thank God. But, you know, like, you know, Brian and Sags, not that they didn't do well. They did good, but man, it's not what people think. You know, they think you're on TV, you're rich and stuff. So that's why we're here doing this, helping out our brothers, man, because really we're the only ones that look out for each other, because the promoters didn't look out for us.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that Chavo. The guys are making what they're making now because of guys like Knobs.
Absolutely.
It's like they paved the way for me to make what I made. And they paved the way for the guys and gals to make what they're making today. And
yeah, they absolutely do. And, you know, and hopefully continues to grow and stuff. You know, I remember watching a pie chart one time, and we're talking about how much, this is years ago when I was, you know, wrestling for, you know, whatever company, excuse me. But they had a pie chart, and it said all of the major sports in there, and the major leagues, NBA, NFL, NHL, and then pro wrestling. And they were showing what the gross was and what goes back to the players. Everybody was at close to 50%, if not a little bit more. Wrestling was at 13%.
Yeah.
That went back to the actual wrestlers. That's changed, thank God. And hopefully it continues to change. And, you know, once everybody's making money, everybody's happy, you know. But that's something that I think we're working in that right direction to, you know, we get it. Promoters, the commissioner of the NFL, the owners of the NFL, they're going to make the majority of, and they should. They're the one with all the, they're putting all the everything on the table. So yeah, of course they're going to make the money. But you know, you look at the NFL guys back in the day, you know, these guys were making $6,000 a year. You know, there's like Wahoo McDaniel became a pro wrestler because he wasn't making enough money being a pro football player. He made more money wrestling.
Right.
Yeah. And remember also, I don't know how it is now. I know when we were there, the insurance we had was only if you got injured in the ring. There was no health insurance if you got the flu, if you got sick. And so remember, these guys,
they couldn't. A lot of times you couldn't get insurance. I was told.
Yes, yeah, me too.
When I first got life insurance, the life insurance place told me it would have been easier to give you life insurance if you're a pro football player. And I'm did you guys all say this was fake? What do you mean? They're like, well, I guess it's not as fake as we said.
They told me I was in the category with like loggers and stuff.
They told me people that parachute.
Yeah.
I said, wait a second. Are you telling me because you want it to be now wrestling's real?
Right.
Allstate said it was parachuting and wrestling was in her list of things that she could not cover me for. And with WCW, we wasn't covered for nothing. Right. In other words, wow. You kind of had a handshake if you got hurt in the ring, but there was no contract. Like when I broke my neck, there wasn't nothing in writing saying they were going to take care of me. They did, And it was great they did, but there was no contract or no paperwork saying they had to. That could have been a lot. They could have been like, hey, and my contract was up too. They could have said, Bagwell, see you later.
100%.
Bischoff.
Yeah, totally.
Bischoff
I remember that. My dad didn't have insurance. You get hurt, you get hurt, you would just keep working because you wouldn't get paid.
Right.
Thank God it changed for, it changed with us. The multiple times I got hurt in WWE, I mean, tore my bicep, went right to Dr. Andrews, the best in the world, and fixed that perfect, So thank God it got to that point to where, they were fixing, helping you. And it's now with all the wellness, all the concussions, watching all that, the impact testing, all that stuff. Now they're really, really, really taking care of the people. Thank God.
Yeah, it is better. But also remember, and you mentioned football earlier.
Yeah.
If you play in the NFL for a certain number of years, you get a pension. There's no pension for us wrestlers unless you set it up, unless you had the foresight to do that on your own, unless you had a good money man, somebody taking care to think of down the road, because it's very easy to get lost on the road with the partying, with the traveling from town to town, and just let things like that slip by, because we never think of how we're going to feel 20, 30 years down the road. But
hey, Chase, right quick, tell everybody how they can just hop off if they want, or how are we going to handle that?
If you say that again, Mark.
How do you want to handle it if they want to leave or need to get off? More people.
If you guys have any time restraints or anything, just let us know. Don't be afraid to. We're not trying to keep anybody hostage. So Chavo, Maven, if you guys got a bolt, let me know.
See ya.
Just close the laptop and you're out. So
Kevin
I want to make sure.
Kevin Nash explained what we're talking about. Probably the best I've ever seen. And he said, he was all about always wanting to get a union, but the problem is there's two companies. There was WCW and there was WWF. Right. And with football, there's a union because there's 32 of those teams. Right. And there's 32 teams with 3 or 4 stars on each team. With wrestling, there's 10 guys making big money. Yeah. And there's no way that 10 guys are going to go, union. They're going to take their money and shut their mouth. Mm-hmm. And that's okay, because that's what's normal. It's not a bad thing they did this. It's normal, because you don't want to rock the boat when you're one of 10 or 12 guys making good money. There needs to be more guys making good money. Then they could go with power and authority and say, guys, there needs to be some kind of union here, Yeah,
it always changes. So I'm part of the union in the Screen Actors Guild. So that's amazing. It's awesome. Like pension, insurance, they really look after
SAG, right?
Yeah, SAG. But it could, it can always be better. We're always like, hey, I come from a place with no insurance, no union. So to have this union is amazing. It can always, the actors that have been there forever, they're like, well, it's okay. It's this and that. So it can always get better. And that's what we're always striving for in wrestling, to try to get better. Now, I don't know if we're ever going to get to that union level, but at the same time, now these guys are making a lot more money, and we have to tell them, you have to learn. You have to save your money, guys.
Yep.
There is no back end coming in. Now you guys are making way more, 3 and 4 or 5 times than what we made. So now put that money away. Buy some houses, buy real estate, do all that. Thank God that they're not doing, the party lifestyle is not as prevalent as it was in my era or the year era before that.
Yes.
Thank God. And they're really watching that. And these guys, I hear a lot of times, like, it's not the same. These guys they're not going out and having beers afterwards. And now they're just,
it's for the better.
Now they're just playing Xbox and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, good. I mean,
it's for the better.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good and bad. I mean, I understand why wrestling sometimes is very kind of generic at times, because you don't have those real life superheroes in and out of the ring. But thank God these guys they're not dying. Yeah. Right?
There's some strippers in different towns probably don't have as big a bankroll. But yeah,
hey, Mark, we talked about that. We talked about how many of our people that we've tied up with are gone from pills, from whatever. We talked about it, and there was like 20 some people, 30 people, whatever it was, people that we got.
I quit counting, but honest to God, I know for a fact that I think about it, guys. Most people don't know. You don't personally know over 10 people that's dead. It's pretty hard to know 10 people that's dead that you've actually sat with and talked to. I, like you guys, have actually locked up and wrestled. It's over 100 guys now.
Oh my God.
I'm going to introduce 2 more guests to this live stream real quick, not to interrupt, but we've got
Chase. I got to get, it's 8 o'clock.
You got it.
I got to get.
Absolutely.
Hey,
we appreciate you,
so
Maven.
much. Thank you so much. I'm going to be hitting both you guys up soon. So
thank you, Maven.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care,
you,
Knobs. Take care.
Appreciate you. All right. We've got Bill Goldberg and we've got Booker T.
Hey.
Oh, this is the WCW round right here. Look at these people. Oh,
We're bringing some humor into this BS that you guys have been talking about. Freaking unions. Come on, man. I haven't seen Chavo. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. Come on, man.
Please save the day.
Hey, it's easy coming from one of the guys that made a lot of big money right there.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Forget about it.
Never. 5 times.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Hey, I've been to Bill's house. I've been to that house in San Diego, and I went to his house, and I was like, "Hey, I'm here." He goes, "No, that's my garage."
well,
there's my block.
Well, this is my house in Texas now, and it makes my garage in California look like a freaking outhouse.
I've only heard about the slide from the bedroom to the pool. Is that an old house?
That was California. That's off in Newfoundland, man. Let them have that. I live on 200 acres, and I pass 3 kangaroos coming into my property every day. So
I love it.
I live in heaven, man. I do. And actually, to be perfectly honest with you, and this is not a joke, we have a monkey in our closet right now.
Yeah.
Is he on your back?
No. I mean, it's not, like I said, it sounds like it's going into the humorous side, but
right.
My wife takes care of endangered animals, man. And,
wow.
The life that we lead out here is completely different than the one we had in California. I'm sitting in my garage that's like.
What about in Texas?
Well, close to San Antonio, let's just say.
Okay, no. I just wonder about the landscape. You know what I mean?
It's in the hill country, so we got a lot of rocks.
I love the landscape in that area right there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's beautiful, man. You know the area. It's about 40 minutes outside of San Antonio, and it's heaven. It's absolutely heaven. During COVID, I built this garage, and I just produced a TV show out of here that's going to be on Paramount Plus soon, and I'm living the dream, man. But I got to say, man, it's an absolute honor and a privilege, no matter what the occasion, to be able to see all of you guys, man, at one time. It brings back some unbelievably hilarious memories.
All of them good.
All of them good. Yeah. Most of them good.
Most of them. So, with Bill, man, I mean, when he came in, he just looked like, if you look up pro wrestler in a dictionary, there's Bill Goldberg. If you look up, he was perfect. He was perfect for it. And I remember at Main Event Fitness, Lex and Sting owned 2 of those places, and one of them was in
Don't tell that story, man. Come on, don't tell that story.
No, I'm just telling the story of you coming up and going, "Hey guys, how do we get in there?" I'm like, "Brother, you just go down there and that's all you got to do." And so he goes down and becomes a huge WCW star, world star now. It's crazy.
I like how you summarize it, but it didn't, it wasn't that easy by any stretch. I was a member of the Georgia Bulldogs, and I'd go party after a home game every weekend in Atlanta. And I'd bump into all of you guys at all of the places that you used to hang out with or at. And then I met Dallas and what's that?
Bill, did you ever work with Buddy Lee Parker?
Dude, Buddy, that's fun. You're kidding, right?
No, I'm serious. Did you?
Dude, he taught me everything I know.
Obviously,
if
you work with Buddy Lee Parker, you earned every damn thing you got in this business.
I'll never forget. I was in there with Bob Sapp, and they were putting us through like the training camp or whatever it was. And Sapp was puking in trash cans, and everybody was running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And I'm like, there's no way this little midget is going to make me break, because I just came from 2 guys trying to kill me every freaking play. Right. So, yeah,
I had the same
Sarge,
experience.
man.
I had
the
same experience with Buddy Lee Parker when I first came into WCW. They sent me to the power plant. Literally about 3 or 4 guys threw up and they were leaving the school to never come back, right? And I had just came from Global, and I told him, hey, bro, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I just told him, I say, look, I can work with anybody. I say, but that, I can't do any of that.
No, none of it.
No. Fuck no, I can't do any of that.
You know that. It was a test.
That was
hilarious.
boot camp. That was a military.
So Booker, did you ever wrestle Knobs?
Man, that was one of my all-time greatest rivals with
Talk to me.
Knobs and Sags, man.
Talk to me.
Some of my most fun memories, Fall Brawl was one of the ones I hated. We had that like street fight, and it was like he hit me with like a big thing of mustard and damn near broke my neck with it. But
trash can.
I think the most fun time working with the Nasties was we were in Tampa somewhere, and we were like in their backyard, and it was a pay-per-view, and we beat the hell. Me and my brother, we beat the hell out of Sags, right? In the back. And excuse me. We beat up Knobs in the back, and we left Knobs laying, like just left him laying. So Sag had to come work the match by himself. and we got the match started, man. We beat the hell out of Sag, man. We just beat the hell out of him. And then all of a sudden, Knobs get himself together, right? They tape him up, and he didn't tape his body up. He taped the whole damn shirt up, right? And it was all the way up to his chest. And he came running out to the ring to make the save. And it was for the titles. And when I saw him running, I couldn't do anything but laugh. I'm literally laughing. And it's a pay-per-view. We're the champions, right? And he came in, got the hot tag, came in and cleaned house, and me and my brother, we bounced around like crazy. And I'm still laughing the whole time because he looked like a damn mummy. He didn't want to show his big fat stomach, so that's why he taped everything up, right? But they hit us with the freaking Penny City, 1, 2, 3, won the titles, man. Me and my brother roll out, and we're still laughing at the same time, So, oh man, we had some great times, man. Me and Knobs also. I remember we was in Japan, and I don't know why we were over there, but it was a tour, and it was with WCW, and him and we went to this club. It was called the Rolling Stone. Okay, no joke. I swear to God. And we probably got there like 1 o'clock in the morning, just Knobs and I, and the club was underground, right? Literally. And him and I were the only 2 Americans in there, right? We drinking. And I drink so much, I go upstairs and I throw up. I go back down, and we party. I go back upstairs, throw up, come back down. We finished partying. We got out literally like 5 or 6 in the morning. Got back to the hotel, and I'm thinking we're trying to sneak in the hotel. And lo and behold, who do we run into? Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And
he was probably with you guys. You just didn't see him in the bar.
No, but I always tried to keep a low profile. So I was going to try to finagle it and say, I'm just getting ready to go to breakfast. And now I'm just stooging out. Oh, we've been out all night partying. I'm like, oh, man, I'm about to get fired, man. But no, man, nothing but good times with Knobs, man.
So imagine this. Bagwell talks about me coming into the wrestling scene. And obviously I came kind of out of nowhere, right? And so who do I start hanging out with? Kevin Nash, Knobs, the Steiners, and we're all driving together. So you can only imagine the stories.
Yeah.
Because you've been on the road with Knobs before. And he's one of the funniest human beings on the planet. I mean,
loudest person in the room, man. He's always the loudest person.
He's super funny until he's not anymore. You're just like, shut up. He won't shut up. He just keeps going and keeps
Then
going.
he gets worse.
Don't let him rib you, bro. He ripped me one time. and we was on a trip to Germany, and the flight over. I remember the guy's name. His name was Don Sandifer. He was the director of the show, and I fell asleep. And I had this nice vest on, right, and this nice white shirt on, starched and everything, right. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I had 2 pieces of cheese inside my vest. And when I opened my vest, the cheese made 2 big round circles on my shirt because the cheese soaked into my shirt. And I was so mad. And I realized my fingernails was painted red, and I had whipped cream on my head also. And I was so mad. Knobs was sitting at the back of the plane. And so he was kind of like hitting, but I knew when I turned around, I saw him, and Don Sandifer was right behind me, and I was so mad. And I looked at Don Sandifer and I said, "Man, you need to do something about this shit." And I went off on him. And then he looks at me and he does like this, and all of his fingers are painted red too.
I came in at the most unbelievable time. If people could understand the friendship that us 4 guys had, and that most of the group had, I mean, and the stuff that we did, and I got there after you guys were already having fun for years prior, right? I can only imagine the stories.
I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him. I did.
I mean, you either love him or hate him, right?
No, the thing is, he's never told me if he did it or not, still to this day.
Hey, were you more mad then, or were you more? Is it like when someone took your Red Bull mad, or how mad were you?
I was mad. I was mad. But and if I would have found out who it was, we probably would have been fighting. We really would have. But he got away with it. You know, I had a rule. You rip me, you better be looking for a fight. Yeah. You know, if I catch you, if I find out who did it.
Hey, remember when they ate your hot dog? I
always talk about that, man.
BT did not like people touching his stuff, right? You touch his Red Bull that was in the ice chest. Oh man, he went crazy, right? He'd go off. So he had a hot dog that he left it. He walked away real quick, and then somebody took his hot dog. I don't even know who it was. Somebody took his hot dog. Yeah, and then he's like, "Where's the hot dog, man?"
You know who it was.
I swear. I didn't know who it was. But I did see, now Benoit put some mustard right here. And he went up to BT, and Booker goes, "Hey, did you take my hot dog?" And Benoit looks at him with mustard and he goes, "No," it just walks away.
Oh, it was so freaking
finally, somebody gave him back his hot dog. Like, "Here it is, bro." And he was
they didn't know. Now what happened was, I was so mad. I was going to fight Benoit when he came back to me. I was like, I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to whoop his ass and show everybody. So I'm pacing like a freaking mad dog. You know what I mean? And then I turn and look, and my hot dogs and my change and everything is sitting on like a little bench. And I was so mad. I had a migraine headache. I didn't even eat the hot dogs. So
my question is, do you think Knobs got a lot of it from Hennig or
Nah, man, that's just
independently.
That's just him, man. It's just Knobs, man. Knobs always been that way.
Yeah,
he's always been that way. It's always been about having fun more than anything. I can't. I tell you, man. Like I say, my brother and I, we was on a 6-month run with the Nasties, and I couldn't wait for it to be over.
You should see him at the Jim Kelly golf tournament every year. Oh my God. Oh my God! You can only imagine the stories, dude.
You know what they did to Eddie, right? In Japan, you heard about that story, right? So
no.
Eddie's on the plane, you know, and this is a party Eddie day. So they're going to fly in Japan, and Eddie is they're you know, everybody's partying on the plane. They're getting they're going, you know, going nuts, and well, somebody H-bombed him. So back in the day, whoever's listening, you know, somebody slipped him a pill or slipped him a roofie, and Eddie went out. So Eddie wakes up in the hotel in I think the Keio Plaza in Tokyo. He wakes up. He doesn't know what happened, how he got through customs or whatever. But as he wakes up, he goes and looks in the mirror, and he's got his eyebrows shaved off, both eyebrows. His mullet is cut. I mean, like, it's all cut, like crazy cut. And then his mustache is cut into like a Hitler mustache.
And that's got Nasty Boys written all over it.
Man. To this day. But then, you know, because Art Barr, his partner, was there too, and they were getting ready to go do that Triple Mania, the AAA Russell, you know, Triple Mania, the first one where it was a hair versus hair match, and they're supposed to get paid some money. Well, they had cut. So Art Barr, you know, had doing his hair because they were going to lose. They were going to lose a match for, you know, to get paid. Well, they had cut Art's hair. They cut his hair on the plane and they put it in a baggie with like 5 pesos. I don't know where they got, or 5 yen or some bullshit like that. And they had it right there. And so when he woke up, he's got his hair right here. So he's got to do a hair versus hair match, and his hair's cut already. So he had to go get extensions put in for the match. Straight up Nasty Boys, right?
Back in the day, that was called, you know, initiation or having fun. Now it's called bullying.
Oh man,
it's called hazing.
You get thrown in jail for it.
You can't get away with that.
Now they call it hazing.
I remember
give me a break.
I don't know.
Bagwell, kids had any idea the crap that we had to go through, let alone on the football field. When I went to Georgia, I almost didn't go to Georgia because of the hazing that I heard about.
Really?
Oh, 1,000%. But
Bill Goldberg. That's saying
that's
saying a lot coming from Bill Goldberg, bro.
I'm telling you, man, it was nasty.
What kind of stuff?
Well, just picture. Remember Cook's beer?
Yes.
Okay, they put Cook's beer on a fire and they'd get it hot, and then they'd make you eat it the varsity, and then you had to strip down. These are all freshmen. You had to strip down and get in the grab your butt, get back to back with your buddy and grab arms and lift them up in the air. And they'd make you eat the varsity hot dog on the Thursday before they changed the oil for the one time in the week. And then they'd make you drink the hot Cook's beer and they'd punch you in the stomach until you threw meat up. That was only part of it. The part that I can mention on TV or whatever we're on.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was nuts, man. Then you'd pick out an upperclassman and you'd go toe to toe with him, and the weight coach walked around with a loaded 357 Magnum just to make sure everything was okay. And what happened was somebody got jacked. One of the freshmen got punched and he swallowed his tongue, and the strength coach had to put a stick in his mouth and pry his freaking mouth open and pull his tongue out. I heard that and I'm like, I ain't going to Georgia. There's no way.
Bill, were you on the trip where when Arn and Sid got stabbed?
No.
Were you, Booker?
No.
Really?
No, I wasn't on that trip.
Before me.
Chavo, were you?
I was there. But I wasn't on that trip for some reason.
That's weird. But I thought for sure, Booker, you were. This is a little before you, Goldberg. But that I was just going to tell that. I thought that story was. But the Nasty Boys again on that one. Arn and Sid go through the stabbing thing, and they send WCW suits over to fire all of us. We're all getting fired.
That's why I was glad I wasn't there.
No, That was before they let black guys and Jewish guys on the plane.
Yeah. Well, not only that, you wasn't safe at home.
You were already
going to fire everybody. WCW was going to be over, brother. I was over there listening to them. And so they flew all the suits over, and they kind of get it calmed down, and we find out we're not getting fired. And we're like, we're so thankful. The following night, the German promoter of the whole thing was named Dieter. You remember that, Booker?
Wait a minute. I might have been on that tour, but for some reason I wasn't around yet.
It was the Hill bus and the baby bus, the two buses.
No, when I went over there, Dieter Kropp, he actually had the little limousines.
Okay, well, Dieter, we all had separate cars when you went.
Yeah.
This was the bus tour early on, my first trip ever over. My wife even went with me. It was early 92, probably early in my career. And so after they get all that calmed down with the suits, the Dieter's partner starts drinking with the Nasty Boys and talking trash. They H-bomb him, cut his hair all crazy, both eyebrows missing, and they urinate on him.
Yeah, we can tell these stories forever, man.
So we're like, we're definitely going to get fired now. Me and Scorpio, we're wrestling the Nasties at the event. In a crazy change of events, instead of us all getting fired for what the Nasty Boys did, they made an angle out of it. The guy kept his hair like that. He would tell the story in German and then take his hat off and show the crowd. The crowd would boo, and the entire crowd wanted the Nasty Boys to get beat by Too Cold and Marcus, and it worked unbelievable, and we were saved again.
That was brilliant.
That's called making lemonade out of lemons.
Yes.
No, man.
Hey, Booker, I just heard that somebody did some nomination thing and nominated you or made you the #1 black wrestler ever.
Yeah, man. It's a great honor, man. BET honored me and gave me that prop, so.
Congrats, man.
It's crazy, you never find yourself in that position till you're in that position. And that's all I wanted to do, man. When I first got in the business, I just wanted to be.
Well, remember when you were always talking about, hey, you were a top 5 wrestler of all time.
Bro, I used to say that, didn't I? I used to say it, man. I used to say it.
Booker,
wait a minute.
I remember Booker early on, man. Me and Booker always got along real good. And I remember early on, the boys would come at him, and he would stand his ground telling everybody that he was the top 5 best in the world. You can do what you want. You can say what you want. I mean, and he was. But nobody talked like that. But Booker did. He goes, I don't care what y'all think. I'm the top 5, brother. 5. I'm the 5 top best wrestlers ever.
And Disco would be like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe you're higher than that. I mean, who's better than you? Maybe you're selling yourself short here.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I just always am hovering somewhere. I'm somewhere in there.
Yeah, you say, no matter what, I'm in the top 5. It was great.
Man, I always believed that, man. I always believed it.
Well, you should. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And shit, man. Still to be doing what I'm doing now with my school. I've even had Knobs and Sags come down and do stuff with my reality of wrestling before. Actually, I'm still pissed off at them. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious, man. That's the reason I lost my limo contract. I'm serious. I mean, sent the limo to pick him up. They damn near beat the limo driver up or something like that. So I lost
my the Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
The good old days, boys. The good old days.
That's on you, bro. You know that. You should have left these guys in the limo.
Pick them up in an Uber.
I'm serious. But to be doing what I'm doing now, man, still, dog, is really, really cool, man, working with the next generation. Trying to see who's the future of the business going to be, and I got some really, really good young talent, that's coming up. So, man, it's amazing. It really is. It's amazing.
We got a heck of a school there, bro. I mean, I've been work for you a couple times, and that place is first class, man, for sure.
I need to come down there, and you need to get me ready for my retirement match.
Hey, bro, I got you covered, bro.
That's a good idea.
Serious, I got you covered. Put you to work. I got everything you need.
You know what's funny is where I live, a very well-known wrestling family is within 30 minutes of me, and they would be the Von Erichs.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And I'm actually going to get in with them first and just get some of the rust off, and I may have to pick up the phone and call you, Booker.
Hey, bro.
100%.
I'm telling you, man. I work with the what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to worry about the rest, but don't do this.
I remember when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall came down to the power plant, and they were going through some match, and it was the first time I'd seen them, and that I'll never forget Kevin saying, "What are you, crazy? I don't take bumps, especially not here." I'll never forget that. Never.
I'm serious, man. The art of doing nothing.
Exactly.
That's what I call it.
That's what I did. Right? I kind of exemplified that.
Boy, you did, man. I swear to God, I tried it myself, man. I tried to do as less as I possibly could.
Less is more, Dave.
Yeah,
Vampiro, what's up, my brother?
Welcome, Vampiro, in.
What's up, man?
What up, Chavo? What's up, baby?
How you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend.
Book, what's up, Bill?
Man,
What's up, my brother?
Marcus, Chase, how you doing, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
It's going well, man.
One more WCW guy.
Where?
Exactly.
That bureau was just like sliding through, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I hear y'all stealing my
I was trying to make a career out of WCW. I was never gonna leave.
You and me both.
All three of us.
Let me tell you, bro.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a little short story here, right? You know, I said I was going to retire in WCW, right? And then company closed, and I had to go to work for WWE. But
you didn't have to.
Well, I know I didn't have to, but I was double champ. I had to keep the gravy train going. But before that, I was on my boat every weekend. I was doing this or whatnot, right? But when I got to WWE, I went to work, right? Being signed the contract, got on the road. Being, you know, working, you know, doing the pay-per-view, whatnot, you know, overseas, whatever, Raw, whatever, SmackDown, working. And then one day I wanted to go out fishing on my boat, right? So I said, let me go get the sticker, you know, a new sticker put on it. And I started in 2001. When I went to go get the 2000 that sticker put on it, it was 2005. My
4 years.
My boat had been sitting there for 4 years straight, and I didn't even realize it because I'd been working so much. Man. It was nuts. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You know, I ended up having to sell my boat because I had no time.
Where did it go, right?
I swear to God, man, it was the craziest thing in the world, and I didn't even realize I had been working that hard.
I sat home and watched you work for those 3 years.
Yes.
Hey, bro, I had to, man. I couldn't stop, man. I couldn't stop. I want, you know what, though? I want to prove myself. I want to prove that I was, you know, top 5 in the world.
Man, you didn't need to prove yourself.
Hey, Booker, we were in the office together talking to Vince, wasn't it, when he told you he put the strap on you?
You might have been. Yeah, I think you were.
I think I was in there, and that's when he explained that to, and we're like, because I was doing a few with Mysterio, and and then, God, that was amazing. I remember you even saying to me, like, man, I didn't think I was ever going to make it.
I didn't see it coming, man. Wow. I didn't see it coming, you know what I mean? But,
awesome.
You know, playing that role, man, I mean, I tell people all the time, I was the greatest king of all. They had to put the strap on me.
Absolutely.
I was freaking killing it. I was drawing numbers and ratings, man. So I always say that's where, you know, the company got to go your way. Whether they want to or not. You know, that's why I talk to these young guys, man, when they're waiting on the office to write something for them. I say, man, the office is not going to write anything for you. You got to go out and just take it. You got to steal it. I say, if they give you the ball, you better figure out how to score every time. You better. Yes. So for me, just give me the ball. That's the only thing I ask for.
Yeah. Look, you and I we got a rematch coming. You know, are you still playing PlayStation? Are you still thinking you're number one with the boxing on the PlayStation, or what's going on?
Bro, come on, man. I'm still in the game. I'm still in the game. I got mine hooked up right now. I could be on the road. I got satellite. I can still play it. I'm serious, man. So,
bro, we got a revenge coming on, son. Next time I see you, we gotta hook that up.
Hook it up. I got a brand new one. That they just undisputed that they just sent me. The company just sent me, and I just downloaded it. Wow. So I'm just not getting up. Yeah, bro. I just turned 60. March 1st, right? And
happy birthday to you, brother.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
And, I'm still a gamer, man.
Hey, I'm about to get on this streaming platform Kick and race guys on iRacing because I got a big simulator in my garage. So yeah, 58, and I'm still playing games too.
Bro, you don't want to lose your youth, man. And I think that's what keeps me young, man. Like I said, with my wrestling school, I'm the oldest guy on the crew by design.
Dude, I don't have to search far to keep my youth because I'm about to go up in 2 weeks to my son's spring game in Colorado playing for Dion.
Oh man!
I
don't lose my youth at all being around those young kids, man.
Yeah, my son got a game tomorrow, and I got to be there. Charmel's going to be out of town, and I got to go take him to the game and whatnot, and watch him, tee them boys up. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
I love it, man. Mine 14 years old, and definitely giving me life, you know. So I don't even know what I'd be doing if I didn't have them, because when Charmel told me we were having twins, I almost lost it. I was like, that's another 20 years of work.
Exactly.
What hell are you thinking?
Crazy, man. Crazy. But that's what keeps me young, is living vicariously through Gage, you know.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Chavo,
Yo,
brother, you know I got love for you, homie. It's been a long road, man. I mean, a lot of you guys don't really know a lot about me, but me and Chavo, when I got to Mexico in 1989, Chavo's family kind of adopted me. And you know, Chavo, your first match, right, was with me, right? In the Olympics.
It was.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of history. Bill, I remember when you were coming in. Book, I remember kicking your ass in the dressing room in boxing. Once.
Oh yeah.
Once.
I was the king of that. I was the king of Madden. I was the king, bro. You know what? I don't know if you guys know the story. This is a true story. True story. When I won the World Heavyweight Championship in WCW, they asked me if I wanted my own dressing room, and I told them, no, I don't want my own dressing room. I want a 50-inch TV. Put it on the truck and take it everywhere that we go, just so we could play Madden and play.
Damn.
And they did it.
No.
I swear to God.
Your gimmick.
I swear to God, they did. They bought a 50-inch, put it on the truck, took it everywhere we went, just so we could play Madden.
These are the big TVs at that point too.
Bro, this way, but check this out. I got the WWE, right? And I had this little portable PlayStation.
Black and white.
No. It was the real deal PlayStation, right?
PlayStation
and D'Lo Brown, him and I, D'Lo saw me playing, right? And I was like, yeah, you know, whatnot. D'Lo said, hey man, you got Madden. Let me play with you. I was like, yeah, man, you cool. I got an extra controller. So we playing around the Madden, and Michael Hayes walked by. And the only thing Michael Hayes said was, you guys playing games, huh? And I go, yeah, we just playing Madden. And he walked off, and D'Lo put that controller down and go, I gotta go, bro. I'm like, what the hell just happened? You know what I mean? From that day on, no video games.
Dude, me playing Madden after I played in the NFL was always anticlimactic, because everybody would be playing in their rooms during training camp their own characters.
Oh God.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
So it's like, I can't beat that.
Have y'all heard about the guys going through the NFL tryout, the compound, where they were watching TikTok videos while they were doing it? Did you hear about this?
What kind of TikTok?
Pat McAfee today. I was watching Pat McAfee for a few minutes, and it's some kind of big TikTok thing that was going on that that a lot of coaches are now outlawing TikTok for the team, because they were actually watching while they were like pushing the sleds and stuff.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it was happening.
Wow.
It's a new era now, man.
It is.
I mean, just like the wrestling business, it's changed, man. Everything's different now. I mean, social media, you know, followers have changed everything. And the way these young people, man, these young kids making so much money now, they ain't got time to be thinking about what we thinking. You know what I mean? I'm serious, man.
I know, man. I know.
These young rappers, this SoundCloud, man, you ain't gotta have nobody. All you gotta have is some a freaking auto tuner.
Well, COVID did that. It gave everybody with a camera the ability to be their own producer, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
there wasn't anything going on except for wrestling.
COVID might have helped, but I tell you, man, it's amazing the way the world works now, and how much money that these young kids are really, really making off, you know, like I say, just making music now, making music as a thing, you know, and when before you had to have talent to really make music.
Yeah, exactly. Like anybody can cut their penis off and get 250 million people to watch it, and then they make so much money, it's nuts.
Or they can talk about stuff that they've never done, you know, or now they're doing stuff just so they can talk about it. You know, it's amazing. I was just looking at this one kid. He's on trial for a double murder. His name is YNW Melly. And he's on trial for a double murder for killing his two best friends, and he wrote a song about it.
Nice. Yeah, that's indicative of the current generation.
You feel me? That's what I'm saying, man. These young kids, man, today, I mean, God, they need some direction so bad.
Understand. Wow. Well, thank you for what you're doing, man.
Hey, send them to reality wrestling. Anybody?
Exactly.
Send your kids in a row. I'm trying to build on a new wing right now. Expand the product just a little bit. But heck yeah, man. I definitely take them in.
Did you remember having a good match or a match you can remember, Bill, with Nasty Boys?
Shit. Yeah, many a time. And I mean, they're all the same, just a cluster fudge of beating the hell out of each other. I mean, hey, like I said, I was extremely lucky. You talk about, Vampiro, you talk about Chavo and his family, man.
Yeah.
Chavo's family taught me the business. I mean, like right when I got there, he'll vouch for it. All of you guys were an integral part in building the character that people saw. Because I had no idea what was going on in the wrestling business, as many people will state to this day. But I was a football player, and I will always be a football player. And you guys, you taught me a lot. I mean, you taught me everything that I know. So, Knobs and Sags and the Steiners, and I mean, the list goes on and on. And to be able to be in WCW when all of you guys were there, I mean, what a blessing it was. The good, the bad, and the ugly, but it was all an unbelievable experience that I look back on. And obviously WCW was where it all was for me. I never wanted to segue to WWE for one reason or another. I did, and I was happy that I did. But to be able to be in the business at that time and be, under y'all's tutelage at WCW was an absolute freaking honor, man.
This awesome. Our family.
I just want to ask a question. I want to ask a question on that right there, because that's a question that a lot of people always wonder about, and they always, question themselves on. And you just said it yourself. And I'm going into my my radio show mode. But you was talking about you never really wanted to go to WWE, right? You never really wanted to do that.
No, I mean, for me, it was the enemy, right?
Okay. Now my question is, at that point in time, it didn't really matter, if you did it, or not. But after you've done it and like done the WrestleMania stuff, what do you recommend some young kid that's getting in the business?
Man, have a seriously open mind, but it's not like it used to be. It's not that hatred that we had for the opposing team.
No. That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm saying. Is what I'm saying.
But that's the reasoning that I had, because I never wanted to go there just because of that reason, and I didn't understand what WrestleMania and those things were like. So I didn't have an open mind.
I get it. This what I'm saying though. It's like so many young kids today. I see them out there, and they got like so much talent, right? They got an abundance of talent. And they go, man, I never want to do WrestleMania. That's not my thing. And I say, man, if you're in this business and you don't want to do WrestleMania at least once, you're out of your damn mind. Because
waiting the 3 years and watching you guys working up there killed me, right? I wanted to be there so bad, but I was listening to, the people who ran my agents, right? And I would walk the street and kids would beg me to go back to wrestling and to go to WWE. And to think that because of the hatred that I had for them back in the past, that I wouldn't ever have done that and experienced the WrestleMania, and experienced the SummerSlam. I mean, hey, man, I was pretty stupid back then. And to get into the business, that's like being a football player as a kid and not wanting to play in the Super Bowl.
That's what I say. There's a lot of young guys out there that say that, and I urge them, guys. That should be your ultimate. Even if you just do it one time.
That's crazy not to be at the pinnacle of the business, right? Because if you're going to do something, you might as well be the best at it, right? Because I'm not going to jump into any pool and not try to swim better than every other dude there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So if you're a kid in the wrestling business now and you don't set that as your goal, I think you might be in the wrong business.
You might be shorting yourself. That's the way. Go ahead, Vampiro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I want to, Bill. I loved your answer, and I know Chavo should jump in on this one too. Book, I would say to because I do a lot of seminars and public speaking and stuff. I would say 3 things. One, if you say you don't want to go to WrestleMania, then you're an asshole because you're going to make $1 million for one day. And if you don't want to do that, then do something else.
Yeah.
The other thing is have realistic expectations. What was 20 years ago is not today. Have an alternate stream of income and understand this is not your future. Put all you can into it, but what you go up on the way up, you're going to pass on the way down. You find something, be realistic. Not everybody's making $40 million and flying in private planes, but you can make a living and have a great experience. So my thing is learn how to invest not only in you and your community and your family, but your money, but also find an alternative stream of income, because if you're going to be a hot shot for 4 or 5 years, you got to sustain that. You got a family, you got a wife who wants to trust you. You got kids who have to go to school. You know, a lot of that shit they didn't teach us.
But these days, you have to have that outlook no matter what you're doing, because in the football business, the only thing that I ever wanted to do in my entire life, I played 4 years in the NFL. And I think months after I got cut and got hurt, I had got a phone call from my attorney saying, you know what, you might want to get off your ass and go do something because you didn't make enough money to sustain, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what your career is, I think you should always have an alternate plan. You should always have a backup that you're working on, you know?
But no one talks to us about that stuff.
Yeah.
Book doesn't.
Look, we're all old now, and we've learned through good times and bad times. But
Chavo's going to agree with
be nice.
Because when we book our generation, we were a boom. Buff, we were a boom. No, there was no really veterans to kind of, you know, pull our ears and set us aside. I've worked with some of Book students on shows I've done, and those guys are educated correctly. They're polite, they're professional, yes, but they also understand the reality of the business. So I'd like to congratulate Booker for teaching his students all of that shit, because no one taught us that stuff.
Well, that's the most important stuff there is.
You know what, man? 20 years ago, this December, I started my school 20 years ago, right?
Damn.
And I just wanted to try to do something, you know, create something that was different than anybody else. And now, you know, 20 years later, we just launched, actually we're going to do three television shows now instead of one. And it's amazing that we've gotten this far. You know, we get to the point to where we actually getting ready to start the process on a 2,000 seat arena. So it's amazing what we're doing through reality of wrestling. That's why I say it's so amazing now to be able to have your own streaming revenue, you know, because, you know, we're close to like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And now we can actually do all of our stuff in-house. We don't need anybody. We got our own satellite truck and everything, you know, so we can create our own magic. And that's what I always said about the wrestling business. That's why I really never complain. I say, man, guys, you know, if you're gonna complain, go get your own wrestling company and create your own wrestlers and see how that work out for you. So, and that's what I did.
if you build it, they will come, man. And you did. I remember you started that. You remember you starting that company, and you saying, man, I just want to do something that not only gives back, but it creates another revenue stream. And you saw that vision. That's awesome. I'm going to circle back real quick to what Bill was saying. You know, Bill, we had a little bit, my family had a little bit to do with helping you a little bit, but as we all did, we all had certain people that molded us and put us in the right direction. But it was your talent that shone through, period. So you became who you were by, you know, we sprinkled in, other people sprinkled in a little bit, other people sprinkled in, but it just worked because of you, because of who you were and how you made that character. Nobody else could have done it that way. Nobody. And
nobody.
Nobody. A lot of people try to copy it, and there was only one. So I always say, there's a lot of people try to copy Rey Mysterio. There's one Rey Mysterio. You know, look at Booker. Booker had a lot of people influence him and teaching him, but he made it because of himself. What he did, he took the little people, but his talent shone through. Vamp's talent showed through. If you guys don't know, Vamp he was like a Hulk Hogan in Mexico. I remember going there and visiting my dad and Eddie when they were wrestling for CMLL and seeing this guy, and it was crazy. The women would, crazy. It was crazy. Buff at the same time. You became Buff Bagwell because it was you. Nobody else could have done it.
But we were all extensions of our own personality, and that was the beauty of it. And we let all of that shine through.
What's that?
Chavo, please put Buff under me. Let's clear that shit up right now.
He's under all.
All right. Hey man, Chavo's dad, rest in peace, man. Chavo's dad he was my partner. They hired Chavo's dad to keep me in line. They hired Chavo's dad to keep me in line.
Wrong guy.
and Haku was to protect the Golden Boy. If anybody fucked with me, looked at me the wrong way, Haku would just spit on his bicep and he would fucking hit guys. But Chavo's dad, he was my partner and he would beat the shit out of me. And I'd be like, you're supposed to be my partner. He would no, fuck you. And like Chavo's dad was the real deal. So all of us here, it just brings back a lot of memories. Book, I remember playing video games with you. Bill, I remember you one time we were in the hallway and you were like, do I throw a sidekick like this? And I was like, well, fuck yeah, you do. And Chavo, Chavo, we spent so much time together. And Buff, I don't know how many times it took you fucking finish. I'm ready to feed you right now. I tell you guys are my brothers, man, and it's just really good to see y'all.
Yeah,
and Chase, man, you're a new homie, but cheers, brother.
Well, thank you all for coming on and making this happen for Brian, and to everybody watching. Hit the link that's tagged at the top of your screen here, because that is the direct GoFundMe link. Anything that you guys send here to the channel is going to go to Brian as well, but please hit that GoFundMe.
How's the number looking, Chase?
So the GoFundMe is at just under 10,000. So need some more, but it's getting there, guys. Thank you all so much for being a part of this tonight, and thanks to everybody that's watching as well.
Buff, thank you for hooking this up, man. That's what homies do.
Hey, this is Chase's baby.
Okay. Chase, thank you, homie.
What's crazy is I just talked to Knobs last week, right? And it was crazy. He's in the hospital, right? He's going through all kind of shit, and I swear to God, we laughed from the beginning to the end.
Same here.
And we was on the phone for 20 minutes. And I swear, we laughed from the beginning of the conversation all the way to the end.
No matter what the circumstance, that's what you're always going to get with Knobs, because I was on the phone with him last week for the same thing, right?
I swear,
I don't remember anything except for laughing the entire time.
I swear, we laughed from the beginning of it all the way to, we just telling stories, and I mean, he's like that the whole time. And I'm like, bro, come on here, bro, relax a little bit. But I swear, man, that's one thing about Knobs. No matter what, man, I swear that's what.
So he said that he was in some kind of little, like a nursing home, rehab place. And he said this old man was coming in trying to unplug his machine, and he had a cane. He was trying to hit the old man with a cane.
I swear, man, we laugh so freaking hard, man.
Never changes.
Only Brian. That would only happen to Brian.
I swear, man. Everybody else gonna be like. Everybody else gonna be like. Just not. Like Penny City. Everybody's gonna be like, sad down. But this son of a gun, man, he had me laughing so freaking hard. I had real tears coming out of my eyes, and I'm like, damn it, bro, damn it, man. Only Knobs. Only Knobs, man. Seriously.
Only Knobs.
Man, we did something for Knobs. They organized something in Miami for like the Florida Marlins game, and Bill was there.
The Legends of Wrestling, dude. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. I read a whole bunch of people were there. Man, we had so much fun. We enhanced ourselves a little bit. Man, we laughed our asses off all night long. It was awesome. Man.
I spared his lawyer after the first pitch or whatever, or whoever he was.
That's right. You were there. I forgot about that.
Love you.
Crazy, man.
Good times, man. Good
times.
Hey, man, guys, I gotta jump on. I'm gonna crash. I got a flight at 4 a.m. I just wanted to say I love you all. I really do. It's good to see everybody.
Respect, Vamp.
Be safe, my friend. Great to see you.
I'll see you all at these conventions and all that kind of shit. Buff, go fuck yourself. Chavo, I love you. Bill.
Russell Khan, baby. I see you, Russell Khan.
Buff, am I going to see you this weekend at that New York bullshit? I'm sorry, at that big event in New York.
I'm not there. I'm not nowhere this weekend.
Okay, all right. Well, Bill, you're going to be there. Book, Chavo.
I'll be on my ranch playing with
Oh
the deer.
man, I'll be
Guys,
so.
I got a call from from TNA, and they're like, "Hey, we're in El Paso. Can you do an appearance?" I'm like, "What kind of appearance?" "I want you to do a match." I go, "A match? I got 2 weeks." So for 2 weeks, I've had no alcohol, no sugar, cardio every morning, spray tanning.
Me too.
Yep, I've been doing that because I got stem cells about a month ago. So I changed every single thing about everything that I do, man.
Good for you.
It's crazy. So,
Thanks, Vampiro. We appreciate you, man.
Guys, and I'll see you guys, brother. Man. I miss you guys. Good to see you all.
There, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Nah, man. But what's the prognosis, my boy Knobs? Anybody hearing anything? Heard he got some good news this week.
Chase.
So he went to rehab, but then he had some issue with his blood levels. So he had to go back, I think this was 2 nights ago now, to the emergency room, and they did a blood transfusion over there. But I've heard that he's stable. He's getting better. So his good friend Fred has been kind of working with us behind the scenes here, keeping us up to date on everything.
Have they changed him from still being an asshole, or is he that's just?
I don't think that's good. I don't think they can do much with that.
That's everlasting. But that's why we love him.
That's absolutely right. He wouldn't, if he was any other way, he wouldn't be Brian.
No.
Always the life of the party.
Chase,
yes, sir.
Maybe reach out to Stinger and have him come on now.
I got Dallas jumping in any minute.
Okay, cool.
And then Sting will be in as well.
All right, we got Dallas and Sting coming up.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to check out.
Absolutely.
I got to get down to my school and get some work done. But but let Sting know I need him to come to Reality of Wrestling for me.
Good luck with that.
It's been an honor, Book.
You too, Goldberg.
Thank you, Booker. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you, BT. Guys,
All right,
I'm out as well. I got a split.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Chavo.
Hey, I love you guys.
Appreciate you.
Man, great talking to my boys, man. It's like, when people don't ever talk about is that fraternity that we have in wrestling, and it is, man. Anytime I get to see any one of you, man, I'm it's an honor, and I cherish it. So thank you guys.
I always remember that chest and try workout at the Target Center in Minneapolis.
That's right, bro. That was a good workout, man.
It was a good workout.
Yeah, man. I learned a lot of training with you, man. A lot.
Brother, that day I taught you a few things.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. I learned a lot. That was good.
We appreciate you, Chavo. Thank you very much.
Bill, love you, bro. Mark, we'll talk soon.
Love
and
you
we'll see
too,
you guys
brother.
around. Thanks,
Yes,
Chase.
sir.
Thank you.
And soon I'm going to have to bounce because
Yes,
every
sir.
3 hours I have to ingest about 4,000 calories to get my weight up for this freaking retirement match. So,
What do you, Bill? How was your? If you could try to wait just for a few with Sting and then hop off. I like to say Sting really wanted to talk to you.
100%.
But how do you? Any injuries? What's going on with your? How's your body doing, brother?
Any injuries? Well, let's see. When I went down to Medellin, Colombia at BioAccelerator, I got 14 injections in my spine. Okay, 4 in my shoulder and 4 in my shoulder and 4 in my knee. So, and those are just, man, they're lingering everything. I'm beat to hell, but the fact is that I've always said it. 75% of me is better than 99% of the fuckers on the planet right now. So, I got to do it one more time, man. They're giving me the opportunity to go out kind of my way because nobody really knows. But my last match against Roman, I was told that I was wrestling 3 weeks beforehand and I had COVID. So, I never got the opportunity to kind of go out my way and represent myself a little bit, in the vein of what I used to be. And I've had a couple months and I've got a couple months upcoming to prepare for, or at least a couple months to prepare for what I'm about to embark upon. But, man, I'm
Who are you wrestling, brother?
I have no idea, but even though I'm 58, it's going to be one hell of a fun time for me and probably not very fun for them.
I think Gunther would be a great one.
Yeah, he talked some shit when we were in Atlanta, and he set that one up. So, I mean, that's an easy one. But, I mean, who knows? I'll take anybody they want to put on the plate. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be. But I do know that I will be as ready as I can be at 58 years old. And I'm going to bring something that I used to have. Hopefully, it's a lot of it, you know?
Are you training by yourself, or do you got somebody training with you? What's your schedule?
Well, I like I said, I just got the stem cell treatment, so you can't train, you can't do anything, any compression, any lifting, anything for like 3 weeks afterwards. And
really,
last week was 3 weeks, and I got a cold and I got the flu, and so I haven't been able to work out at all. But I think it's all for the best because it's letting the stem cells kind of sink in. And you know, Rampage is a buddy of mine, and he went to Bioaccelerator 2 weeks afterwards, got in the ring, blew his shoulder out. So I think by me being able to abstain from heavy lifting and kickboxing and the stuff that I got to do to prepare is the smartest thing. But, you know, once I get all this crap out of my lungs and out of my head right now, my sinuses, I'm going to get back in the ring for the first time in a long time, hit the ropes. And like I said, I'm gonna get in with the Von Erich kids.
Good.
And there's a kid named Jimmy House who, it's a very long story, but Jimmy's a champion in one of the federations now. And he was a huge fan of mine growing up. And I brought him to one of my comeback matches, and one thing led to another, and he got in the business, and he's a power lifter, and he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, and he's just one of the nicest kids you're ever going to meet. And fortunately, you know, he got into the business and has seen a lot of success. And I'm going to get together with him. I'm going to get together with Tyrone Spong. I'm going to get together with Liam Harrison, you know, 2 professional kickboxers. And I'm, you know, I gotta do me, man. So I gotta have some monsters around me to kind of get me in the mood, you know?
I love it. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever in your entire life not worked out for 3 consecutive weeks?
No.
I knew that answer.
No, you know, you haven't either, man. It's the hardest thing in the world. It's not, I mean, eating gluten-free, not having sugar, not having pasta, not eating red meat more than, I don't know, they say 3 days a week, but I have to eat it like 5 times a day. You know, there's a lot of things that I've abstained from. I haven't drank alcohol in a month. For me,
wow.
I don't drink much anyway. I'll probably have a couple beers a week.
Have you put the cigarettes down?
Oh, I haven't. I never smoked cigarettes, bro.
Joking. Hey,
yeah,
when I broke my neck, brother, I lost only about 15 pounds at first, but then I got food poisoning.
Yep.
So I remember I had lost about 45 to 50 pounds over that, and I couldn't train for 3 months. I couldn't take any supplements. I couldn't do anything for 3 months. When I started back, I was about 205 and skinny as a rail, but 3 months and 1 day I was back in the gym. The x-ray showed that my neck had fused from the broken neck, and 3 months in a day. And let me tell you, it is the weirdest thing you have ever tried to do, brother. When you were laying paralyzed in a ring, and all of a sudden you're going to try to lift weight. It was bizarre, but I remember shrugs were the weirdest thing because of your neck. I remember it being so weird that I was trying to push weight.
That's the problem with me right now, is that I'm supposed to stay away from compression for a period of time, right?
Right.
And I don't think I'll be bending bars with 700 pounds on it, you know, doing shrugs anymore. Now, 225, 315, I can see that easy, but I don't think I'll be able to throw that kind of weight around that I used to. But, you know, who needs to anymore? You know,
don't
it's all about being smart, and I'm not going to need it.
The other day in the gym, this kid he had 315 on there, and I was watching him, and he did it one time. And as soon as he got done, I walked straight up to him and I said, "Hey, buddy, can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Why did you do that?" And he went, "I don't know." I said,
"He's a kid. That's why."
And I said, "Let me tell you why you did it." I said, "You did it, and you did it to impress." I said, 2 people, your friend and I was watching. You didn't even know it. I said, "You didn't even video it." I said, you barely got it. But let me tell you what could have happened. I said, you could have tore your pec and been out 6 months.
But you can't tell these kids that. You can't.
You can't.
You couldn't have told us that when we were kids, right?
No way.
Now, let me tell you something, how far life has come. I mentioned my son, right? Gage plays middle linebacker at Colorado. Now, he's a redshirt freshman, so, I mean, he hasn't seen the field much at all because it's Division I football. This kid did 225 24 times last week and did a standing backflip at 232 pounds. I mean, that's pretty impressive. But these kids have gotten to a level that's unbelievable, because like back when I was in college, like when I was a senior, I don't know if I did 24 reps with 225. That's combine stuff, right? So their bar is just so high, man. It's crazy.
And the back flip was not even something people could even do at 180 pounds.
No, and he tried to do it in full pads too. It didn't work out real well, but just to have the confidence to be able to do that on the turf, man, when you've never done it before.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fearless. They're just fearless. X Games did that, all this stuff, parkour, whatever the hell they call what they do now. But these kids are crazy. They're on a whole different level.
So what game's coming up this weekend?
It's not this weekend. It's in a couple weeks. It's the spring game.
The Colorado is Colorado?
Yeah, and he's running second team right now. So I'm just honored that he's playing number one for an ex-teammate of mine, Deion Sanders, and number two, he's in Division I, following his dream.
Dallas, welcome.
What up, Dallas?
What's up, boys? Little under the weather. Trying to spin too many plates at one time, but so I'm still here though. I'm here.
I feel you. I can't smell anything. I can barely breathe through my nose. And my head feels like that teacher on South Park, Mr. Hand or whatever, like a freaking gigantic thing. So yeah, I feel you, Dallas. I feel you. And I got it. And I was telling Marcus, I got it right after coming back from Bioaccelerator, right? So I couldn't train for a period of time. And
right.
the day that I got let loose, I got freaking sick. So I can't even, my stamina is like, it sucks. So one thing after another. That's what happens when we get old.
Yeah, baby. Try not to let the old man in, but sometimes he kicks that damn door down. I got to pick it back up and push it back.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually going out to train with one of the strongest son of bitches on the planet, going out this week. This week I'm in Atlanta for a couple of days, and I go out to LA to work with Mike O'Hearn.
Nice. I saw him at the Arnold last weekend in Columbus.
Yeah, he told me that this time out that he would do DDP yoga with me and do the power cuffs. And then the next day I'm working with CT Fletcher.
No, nice. And I was with CT signing for Valor at the Arnold.
Well, yeah, it's I was almost came to that. Steve Yu was running around with my good friends Brent and Autumn Swanson, and they were dressed up like different, Conan and Mrs. Conan and some other crazy.
Welcome, Sting.
Sting.
Thank you.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good, man.
All good.
The gang's back together.
What's that?
The gang is back together.
Yeah, just for a minute, right?
Hey, I'll take a minute. Believe me, just give me a minute. I'm very thankful for every second. You know that.
I got to put Mr. Marcus Bagwell over. The reason I didn't mention anything about Noms is his fundraiser was because I wanted to give that moment to Lex and just focus on Lex, like having this amazing moment, right? And then I didn't want to come in because Marcus, like if there's one thing that I love that Marcus reaching out and helping one of the boys. That's freaking awesome, bro. So hats off to you. I didn't want to slow that.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you, Marcus, for doing this, and thank you, Chase. Obviously.
No, absolutely. Thank you all for joining. And for everybody that's watching, we got a lot of people watching right now. So thank you all for donating, for supporting Knobs in this hard time, and for being here with all of us.
Absolutely. Did you make it through the canyon, Stinger?
What's that?
Did you make it through the canyon?
I made it through the canyon.
The canyon.
Yeah, actually, I almost didn't. I mean, the laptop deal didn't work because I didn't have the right browser.
Okay.
Always something.
And I'm not a tech guy. I started texting Lex. I texted your buddy. What's his name? Chase.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you're here, and we appreciate you, so thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm just looking at tiny little pictures. I didn't even know that was you, Bill, until I heard your voice.
Well, I'm a tiny little man now. That's what
that never happens.
Not hardly.
Well, again, I touched on this earlier, and Vampiro and Booker T and Chavo were on here, but I got to really digress and say that you three had more to do with anything and everything that people saw when I was at WCW and to this day. So, I mean, Dallas, I won't even go back to where we met and the things that we did. And Sting, I looked up to you like God, as I still do. And Bagwell, fuck, you're just Bagwell. So, I mean, you were always around and you were always such a presence. You always put a smile on everybody's face. You had a plethora of knowledge. But seriously, I'm going to digress and say that I would not be anything in the wrestling business without these gentlemen that are on the screen, more so than anybody that I rubbed shoulders with. The Steiners had a lot to do with it. You know, Kurt Hennig had a lot to do with it. Kevin Nash. But Jesus, Louises. I mean, you got Bagwell. Remember when we got to tell the story about Main Event Fitness, right?
I was just going to say, if we get Lex on here, we're going to have all the parties involved.
Exactly.
Do you remember that? Go ahead.
The best part of this story is Bill thinks that I was making fun of him, and it was Lex that was doing his Herman Munster, Steve. Tell Bill.
Oh, no, I don't. Marcus, you remember we were doing incline dumbbell presses. Bill was all the way down at the far end of the gym.
I'm so embarrassed.
And then Lex was in the next incline bench right next to him. You were next after him, but we were separated by about 5 yards apiece. And then I was all the way across on the other end, and Lex was doing his deal, dip, 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 on all of his reps, dip, da, da. So all I remember is hearing Bill say, blow out your, and I was like, I'm on the very end, and I looked at you and I said, did you hear what I think I heard? And you said, I think I did. And Bill was obviously talking directly to Lex.
No, Steve, here's what you don't know. He was talking directly to me.
Exactly.
Listen to me. He has thought, listen, it's important you hear this. Bill Goldberg, for years, until right this moment, has thought it was me making fun of him. Tell him, Bill.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
You just found out today that it was.
You're the partner in crime. You're the goof of the bunch. I knew it was you.
For years, Steve, he's done podcasts. He's told stories. He's wrote a freaking book about it.
Talking about me?
Wow.
And I loved him. I was like, I love Bill. I love you. I didn't do it. It was a joke. I swear to God, it was Lex. But he never heard none of it.
I was like 325 working out with power lifters, bending bars in that gym. And I thought all of you were making fun of me, but I knew it was you. I thought it was you.
I love you, Bill, and I swear it wasn't.
Is anyone told any knob stories?
Oh, Jesus.
I've told several, but please hop in.
Oh, man. Where do I... Who was it? Max Payne that gave him the belly-to-belly suplex where his leg... We watched it over in slow motion 50 times. Where he didn't tuck his head and his chin hit the mat like this and his feet came up over his head like that.
Yes.
You remember that?
Nothing happened to him.
He was like Play-Doh.
He's like Gumpy.
Yeah.
It was like no bones were in his body.
I can remember, he used to he was always so excited, you know, when all the guys were together. He'd come into the dressing room and he'd go, finally, Stinger, you know, somebody with some substance walks in the room. Finally. Oh, wait a minute. There's Hogan. See you, Sting.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like I was always second fiddle to Hogan.
Yeah.
In his eyes.
Yes.
I can remember being at the bar after the show, or you know, it's a Monday night show, watching the show. I got a hamburger up to my mouth, and he swatted it out of my hand. He goes, "Bro, what are you doing? You're gonna screw up your buzz. You don't eat now. Wait. Okay."
Yeah. I know someone who always applied that rule. Right, Marcus?
I sure do. I know him too. It was a vicious rule. I've had a few hamburgers slapped out of my hand itself.
Oh my God.
But it really was a golden rule. You just didn't eat to mess the buzz up.
Yeah, I got it after that.
Yeah, I missed the whole thing. You guys all went blank.
Yeah, fortunately, I was never in a bar or anything to partake in any of that, so I never saw that.
Wasn't.
Right.
I can remember bailing Brian out of jail. He called me one night. See, what's that?
Tell the story.
Well, it's not much of a story. He just calls us, Sting, please, you got to come bail me out. I'm in trouble.
What
I think
city?
I think we were in Baltimore, Maryland. A lot of stuff happened in Baltimore with that guy, but yeah, I can't remember what he did, but he was in jail and he needed to get out. He was going to kill himself.
That was one of many times.
Please get that platinum American Express of yours and bail me out.
How long ago? This wasn't a couple weeks ago, right? This was a while back.
Oh man, this is like, early 90s.
I love it.
Wow. Incredible.
I was telling the story, Steve, about the two buses in Germany with Dieter when the Nasty Boys, we were all going to get fired over the Arn and Sid thing. And then they flew the suits over and we were safe from being fired, we thought. And then Knobs and Sags cut the promoter's hair. He drew swastikas all over him.
Oh my God.
And they urinated on him.
No.
I swear to God. And then
I believe it.
And then the next, we thought for sure now we're going to definitely be fired. The Tuco Scorpio and myself were wrestling the Nasty Boys. Instead of us getting fired, they used it as the angle, and the guy kept his bad haircut and would take his hat off and told the story in German what happened, and everybody wanted to see us kill the Nasty Boys.
Appropriately so.
There was always drama on the road when the Nasty Boys were around. How many times did he slap football players on the back of the head, or rugby players? Do you remember that?
Oh, every chance he got.
Yeah. I mean, and then he'd cuss them out, and somehow or another he'd get away with it every time.
Yes, nobody do nothing.
Yeah.
Those were before my days, boys.
Yes, it was.
I can say this though. The one thing that I love about Brian is, you remember when I went through all of my changes when I got converted and I gave my life to Jesus Christ. All the guys, including you, Marcus, and especially Lex, everybody was uncomfortable. It was awkward to be around me, unless we were in the gym working out, or if we're doing our, the wrestling gaga. Okay, I'm rappelling out of a ceiling. I can still wave my baseball bat and do my thing. But Brian Knobs, of all people, he was the only one who just accepted me for who I was. It didn't change a thing with him. He treated me exactly the same. There wasn't even an awkward moment with him. I'll never forget that. He's the person you'd think would absolutely hate me or try to get me out of the business, but he was the opposite. He was incredible. So, Brian, if you're watching this, I love you, bro.
You just gave him more ammunition, Steve.
There was always.
He was appreciative.
It was always a fun. I mean, it was something usually kind of bad that was going to happen, but it was always fun when Knobs was involved. Always.
Always, yeah.
1,000%.
It was that kind of fun. Like, it's not fun till somebody's eye gets poked out, but it was fun.
Well, the eyes could get poked out.
Yes.
I remember one time the Steiners were screwing with him so bad, and he kept giving it back and giving it back. And he took that shower and he came out and they snatched his ass and tied him up with duct tape. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tied him up with duct tape and threw him out of the front door, out of the locker room. Oh, God.
Well, then the Steiners threw him out into the crowd naked once.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got there too late, man. I missed these festivities. But
Well, Bill, you don't know about Pity City, do you?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Have you ever visited? Have you ever visited Pity City?
No, not when I was awake.
I was the mayor of Pity City.
What's Pity Diddy, bro? I don't know about that.
Pity
You don't want to know.
During the heat, which for some reason I always had the heat on me.
You?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Okay.
Can't imagine.
No.
But
Today, bro.
it was Pity City every match. You know?
Yeah. Now I know where we're going. All right.
You go. Now
Yeah.
the fans, I kind of stooged it all. The fans don't know that they're two of the cleanest guys in the world, but still, you're in somebody's pit, brother.
Yeah.
Pity City.
Yeah. I didn't get that, thankfully.
Me either.
Yeah, thank
Me
God.
either.
Larry, where are you? Get on here. I called him. He said he said he's coming on.
Yeah.
Can he talk?
He says that he lost his voice.
Right.
So his voice is definitely gone.
Yeah, I told him, I said, make a note, say you can't talk, and I said we can have fun with that.
Do subtitles.
See, that's subtitles, right?
All right, so where are you going, Marcus? Where are you going with this?
Say again?
What are we doing? I said, where are you going with this? Let's talk about Knobs as far as where is he at right now? Like, I don't know the situation he's in.
Chase, tell the story.
So I talked to Fred, his good friend, and he's been kind of behind the scenes, helping out with getting this whole thing together too. And I guess so. He was in the hospital. Obviously, they sent him to rehab facility. He was only there a couple of days, I guess, before he had some issues with his blood levels. He ended up having to get rushed to the emergency room for a blood transfusion. So this was like a day and a half, 2 days ago. So I guess he's stable. He's getting better again, but he's still in the hospital. So still recovering from the latest.
Yeah, I talked to him last week, guys, and he was the same old Knobs for sure. He's always going to blow everything off, but the reality is I talked to Hogan the next day, and, Knobs is always going to sugarcoat everything, but, Chase knows the details, but,
right.
We obviously wouldn't be on here if he wasn't
That's what I'm asking. That's what I didn't know. I just saw that, and I didn't want to, because I knew I would have went right to it and just put it out there. But cause I only do the GoFundMe's for the boys. And I get people ask me all the time. I'm like, no, I got to take care of my own, and that's when I'll put it out there. And so I didn't know. I had something about losing his foot. My
story was I saw it on Yahoo on the news. And then freaking 20 minutes later, he calls me and then tells me that, no, he did. And I thought, can you believe everything you see on the news these days, right?
Nothing.
Exactly. So I didn't jump to any conclusions, but I knew it was Knobs. And so I knew the probability of something being bad was probably pretty good with him because he's going to hide it, right? So, and then, like I said, he got Bagwell and I on the phone together, and the rest is history, man. I made some phone calls to a couple of the boys, and just we're all here trying to help, man. That's it. No matter the situation, it's a dire one. I know, financially, he's probably not in the best of situations right now. He's in like a retirement home. So
he lost his house and his car
from the storm.
Yeah, the last hurricane.
Hurricane
Milton. Yep.
And he's still not out of the woods on getting his foot amputated.
Yeah, that's right. Have you seen photos? I know you have, Marcus.
Yeah.
He needs help for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Chase,
what
does everyone know about Tony?
Tony. I don't believe
Tony's
so.
his wife.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yep.
I mean, that's another one. She's on her own in a hotel still.
Right. And this has been the case for several months now. Yeah.
And she's dealing with breast cancer.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if it was
Well,
public.
I didn't want. Yeah. I wasn't sure. But Goldberg beat us to that one. So
well, hopefully it's nothing that they didn't want out there. But you know,
I don't think so.
She's battling breast cancer. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're in a world of hurt for sure.
They are.
They need a lot of help. So
and Brian puts on his goal for the goal for the GoFundMe 30,000, and I was like, how humble can you be? I mean, 30,000. He's lost everything.
Right.
And he may lose his foot. And I'm like, man, please don't look at that goal number. To all the fans, that's just him trying to be humble and be nice, like Brian Knobbs is. I said, man, this is something that he needs much more than 30,000.
We need every single person that's a fan that has ever watched him to pick up the phone and donate. Period.
Absolutely.
End of story.
Right. Absolutely, we do.
And we've got that link right here in the top of the chat on the right-hand side, guys. So everybody watching right now, if you can help out, the GoFundMe link's right up there on your screen. Click it. All that goes right to him. And anything that's come in revenue-wise from, advertisements during this stream. I saw some people saying, how come there's advertisements? All that money's getting forwarded as well. So we're taking everything from YouTube, everything from, the GoFundMe. It's going straight to Knobbs and his wife, in this difficult time. So thank you all, again, that are watching this.
Absolutely.
That's a good deal. Very good, Marcus.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I love the beard, Steve.
Thank you.
Dude, honestly, did you recognize him when you saw the picture of him and Lex together? Did you?
Did I?
Yeah, did you?
No, it really looked. It caught me off guard.
Me too. I was like, who's that cat in that picture?
Is that when we were in London?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was looking through photos trying to find something on my phone a couple days ago, and I go, oh wow, my dad. And I looked closer and I went, oh, that's me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happens.
I mean, it's amazing what happens when you turn white. And
Goldie never had to worry about anything. He shaved it all off.
Thank God. I shaved this off because it's all white, right? So I mean, we all do what we have to do.
This is 100%. Old man Sting, ladies and gentlemen.
This is old man Sting. That's
old man Sting. Yeah.
How old are you now, Stinger?
Go ahead.
I think 11 years older than me, so you'll be 66 in March.
Wow, very good.
March. I don't know what day in March, but March. You're 66 years. March 23rd.
March 20th.
That's
very good.
The 17th.
Happy early birthday.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's hard to believe 66 years old.
Dallas, you're like 80, aren't you?
84.
But you look like you're 30.
I'm actually like 3 weeks away from 69.
Wow. Really?
You guys carry it well, man.
They do.
I hope I'm even alive at that age.
So I used to say to Bagwell all the time back in the day, back when we just started, and I've got the ice all over me and everything.
Dallas, tell the story of us being in the room together.
That's what I'm talking about. I've got all the ice all over me, and you pop up, and you got your nice shirt on, your jeans, and you're getting ready to walk out the locker room. I go, bro, aren't you ever sore? No, not at all. Boom. You just take off like never. And that lasted for a while, but then Father Time catches us all.
Not all. It ain't caught you yet. I remember
no,
me and Lex sitting in the audience before the fans come in, and Lex, like only Lex can do, let's just call it having some fun with Dallas doing his yoga in the ring. And now you fast forward and look, Dallas is man, he's fought Father Time and winning unbelievably, and just how much the yoga has wonderfully helped Dallas's career and life, and just it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what came from it.
The glue, bro. It's the glue that keeps me together. Simple as that.
Well, Dallas, I got a comment for you. I just happened to see over here. Hey, DDP, thanks for helping me lose 100 pounds to join the military. From Hitman Killer Grim here. Thank you for the $10 for Brian Knobs here. But I mean, there you go, right there. DDPY.
You've helped so many people, DDP. It's not, you couldn't even write a book about it, man. I mean, the book would have to be like 1,000 chapters from Butterbean to freaking the normal Joe that follows what you do, man. You've made a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives, man.
Thank you, bro.
Dallas can't. He's got to have more than one champion for DDPY now, because there's so many unbelievable success stories with DDPY that they can't just have one champ. This past year, how many champs did you have?
13.
Are y'all listening? Can you imagine having 13 WWE champions? It's not possible. But they've got to. They've got to, because there's so many crazy, unbelievable, life-changing stories from DDPY. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dallas, I've learned to appreciate you more as the years go by, for sure. I mean, I've told you this before, but I took you for granted way back when. I respected you, but I took you for granted. If I'd have known then what I know now, wow, man, it would have been a lot different. I'm grateful for the matches we had. I mean, I've had people talk about those matches so many times. I love the match with you and DDP, this and that, So good stuff, man.
Yeah, well,
you're a good dude. You are a good dude.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I used to love when I would do the spinning powerbomb, this thing, where I'd pick him up and we'd start twirling, and he'd go shampoo in my hair before he left and got launched on that. That was always fun.
Well, now that we're rehashing memories together, I remember the first time that Dallas and I prepared for a match, and he brought the match to me. It was on 15 pages of paper, and I think I had never speared anybody more than once, and I think he had me spearing him like 6 times throughout the match.
No.
I think the match was like a 45-minute match, but I had never gone over like 3 minutes before that. So
he wanted me to go to wrestling school to go over it. I said, Dallas, have you lost your mind? A day off going to wrestling school? But I think I went once down there, but when we got to the building, it was a full-fledged walkthrough, which is wonderful. I love that every bump we landed was, the camera guy that was so good that you were friends with. He'd be right there, and then this guy, and then coming off here, and just, it was so much fun it was a lot, because you wanted it to be perfect, but in the ending result, it's such a great ending that it was wonderful to go through it.
It's funny because Savage, who did the same exact thing, nobody ever busted his balls about anything, but even more exact than me. So when we came together, that was magic, man, and it worked big time. I can remember when Stinger, I came into one of the very first times where, of course, I'm the mid-card guy, but I know it's January 24th because somebody had sent me the match. And Stinger, I walked in to see him. I said, so what do you want to do tonight? And Sting said, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do?
I told you to lay out the whole deal.
You did. And man, what a reaction we got it. And even though it was the bottom of the middle of the card for a moment there, it looked like it might have been at the top of the middle of the card. Like you really did that. That was the first time I ever walked through the curtain and got the old, very good.
You're talking about coming back through the curtain.
Yes.
Back through the curtain.
Yeah.
Just for the record, Bill, I think it was very, very smart planning from Dallas to do that. 6 spears or whatever, and then he got up and walked out of the ring.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the first night I really learned about wrestling and what to do and what not to do. What people do to you and all that kind of stuff. But
what you forgot about, Mr. Goldberg, was the first spear you missed.
And I knocked myself out.
And you knocked yourself on the second one when you hit. Like that was the finish. I'm going to spear in a jackhammer. I'm going to fall into the diamond cutter. And But when you hit me that second time, I was a napkin. So here's his head.
We were both out. Yeah, it was. I mean, again, man. I mean, you guys,
that was into the turn post, right?
That was one where I moved at the last second,
Yeah.
kicked myself over the top of the thing, and Bill was coming because he did not want to miss that spear.
No, man. You know, my whole thing was I had to be realistic, right?
No, you were.
You know, I don't know. I get lamb-basted about it all the time, but
I know
that was my character, right?
Dude, I loved it. I loved it.
I talk all the time about how wonderful it was because when you wrestled Bill Goldberg, it was real. Anybody that came up and wanted to talk about wrestling being fake, you had a fist fight on your hands with Bill Goldberg because it was never fake when Bill was in the ring. And it just wasn't, and so that you brought the A game for all the guys, and it went from taking care of each other to let's look good, and it upped the game. You know, guys started taping up a little more, and that live show got serious.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yes.
Many people think that's a fault, and I am probably one of them. But, you know, I mean, I'll never forget when Scotty and I got in there. And it was before I broke his freaking orbital with that left jab unannounced. But, man, he and I killed each other. I'm talking the forearms that I ate from Scott Steiner. I can still taste them. And, you know, but it was part of the fun for me. It was my way of still playing football.
Right.
You know, in the wrong setting, right? But, you know, I at least had guys like you guys like all of you to be able to soften me a little bit and teach me things that I never even knew. So, thank you.
I remember telling Bill, I was like, Bill, we got to do this again next week, brother. I said, you do know, right? We got to do this again. And he's like, shut up, Bagwell.
That's probably what I said. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys, and I'd love to be on here all night. But again, I got my wife telling me dinner's been ready for an hour.
We appreciate you taking the time.
I got to go gain some weight. So I love you guys exponentially.
Wait a second.
I can't even put it into words how appreciative I am for everything you guys did for me. And to still be able to see you guys and to be able to come together for such a cause for Brian, it's an honor and a privilege. And to this day, all of you are still teaching me how to do it right.
Bill, I just want to leave you with this. When are you going to do a final match? Is that coming?
Yes, sir. Sometime in 2025.
Awesome. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Should be interesting. Get the ice bags ready for me, please.
They're coming at some point, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so is that spear. I may be doing it from a wheelchair, but it'll be coming fast.
I like it.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Jack.
Appreciate you.
See you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Y'all be good.
Take care. All right, to everybody in the chat, thank you for hanging with us tonight. We got a little ways to go still, but thank you all for watching. Thank you all for donating. I just checked the GoFundMe here. We're over $11,000 raised, so that is incredible. We've got a lot of people still sending super chats here as well, which we're going to forward all the proceeds from ad revenue, everything that you guys are sending straight over to Brian Knobs as well. So thank you all so much for being here, for watching, for being generous, and for you guys on screen. Thank you guys all for taking time out of your night.
Little do you know, Steve, and Dallas may not know this either, but it was like I called you and explained something that that me and you have never talked about. And I explained the whole situation to you. It was like I did that tonight before you came on the screen. Bill Goldberg has done 1,000 podcasts about me making fun of him at Main Event Fitness.
Wow.
And when you came on tonight,
no
I was
idea.
like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Well,
So,
I mean, it was obvious it was Lex. That's the thing. I don't know how he thought it was you.
He has hated me for years.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Ask Chase Brogan.
You've had heat with him.
Staying out of this one.
I think he hated you for a minute way back when, and then it was over with.
And it was easy to hate you then, bro. It was
of course.
Let's be real.
Yeah, Marcus,
absolutely.
you were a lot like Knobs. You know, Knobs, he just had a way, man. He was a comic relief, and Marcus always had a way. I mean, I'll never forget the Steiners. We're talking about the Steiners all the time and messing with Knobs, and they hated Marcus. I don't know if you remember that, Dallas, but they hated Marcus. They could not understand his gimmick. He was a pretty boy dancer, you know, whatever they thought, you know, and they hated him. And we were in Chicago one night at the UIC Pavilion, and I got there a little early. Marcus got there a little early, and he walked in. He goes, "Hey, do you mind if I dress in here?" I was in one of the dressing rooms, and I don't care. And he goes, "Oh, when the Steiners get here, would you mind saying something to them? Because they hate me." I go, yeah, I'll say something to them. And anyway, I talked to him that night, and man, you should have seen the looks they had on their face when they walked in and saw Marcus. I think if I remember, Robbie said something like, "What are you doing in here?" Something like that. Yeah. I said, he's all right. He's all right, Rob. He's okay, you know. And Scotty, you know, they had that look, and it was like within about a week, we were like inseparable, all four of us.
So
wait a second. Which even got Marcus more heat with all the guys in the middle of the car.
Yes.
Because he jumped. He skip hopped and jumped.
So the great part of this story is Sting comes to my house to play basketball one time. He pulls up in a limousine. We got Mark Johnson in a referee outfit. Eric Watts. We got the whole subdivision as a crowd going to watch a basketball game in our house. Sting comes in to change, and both Steiners are on my answering machine. And Sting looks at me and he goes, is that Rick Steiner? And then went beep. And Scotty left me a message. He goes, both Steiners are on your answering machine? He said, you gotta be kidding me. They hated your guts. I said, I don't know, man. We ride motorcycles together, you know. But it all just worked out, you know.
Oh yeah, and Lex was in there too. Yeah, we were all of us on the road. It was great. Were you with us tonight in Minneapolis at Mall of America with the Steiners driving Robbie was driving the van? We had I think Brian Pillman and this is a weird crew here. Brian Pillman, Tom Zink, Lex. I thought you were there. Robbie was driving. Scotty was in there. We ended up in a van. The whole parking lot was just all ice. Obviously, it was after the matches, after we ate, after we did what we did, coming back to the Marriott there in Bloomingdale, was it?
Bloomingdale.
Anywhere where the Marriott was. Anyway, and Mall of America, and Rob, he stops the van, he puts it in reverse, hits it, floors it, and he turns the wheel 360 like this. And we spun around like a couple 180s, and everyone's yelling, screaming, having a blast. And Lex is getting pissed. So of course we're egging him on. Just do another one. Now he gets going a little bit faster. We did it about 3 or 4 times. And by the end, I'm not kidding. We were counting 1. Everyone inside the van. 1, 2. We got up to like 8 revolutions, and Lex was suicidal. He was, you know how he sweats? It was freezing cold outside. He was sweating. He was shooting mad at everybody. He was Herman Munstering everybody all over the van. He wanted to kill Rob. He got out of the van and started walking and slipping across the ice trying to get away. It was a good one.
I love it. Wow.
Yeah.
Good old Lex.
Speaking of riding with Lex, when Sting went to the lighter side, and Stinger, I'm going to jump on that with Knobs. I never treated you different when you got saved. I never treated you different. I treated you with respect and as a bro, because I get it. You know, I get why people freaking finally bring that love in. I mean, I look at Lex right now, and man, he's the most unbelievable cat that I know. period, you know, and getting back together with you, Singer, is so huge for him, man. It's so cool, man. And there's nothing, whenever I feel like my shoulder, like I wake up, because if you're a side sleeper and you're one of us, you hate sleeping because you don't sleep. You know, you're in so much, I do more damage to myself sleeping than anywhere. But as soon as I think about it, though, I look at Lex and how hard he's working when we're working together, and I'm like, nothing, man. Like that guy's my hero, and that's the truth too, bro.
I feel the same way about him. You know, he's a guy, and I heard him say this a few times now publicly when he first went down like that. I told him, I said, if you would have suffered this type of paralysis when you were in your heyday, you would have committed suicide. I
100%.
He definitely, Marcus, you know as well as I do.
100%.
He would not have so to see him now, what he's evolved into, and I watch him, the way he interacts with people. I watch him interview. I watch him do these podcasts. You know, man, he is. I want to be more like him. If anyone has a reason to complain, it would be him. And, you know, he's got pains that he's got to deal with on a day in and day out basis that no one really knows about.
Right.
And he doesn't ever complain. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's always got a positive response. He's always got something good. That's the way he is now. And that has just amplified in the last 12 months. There's a whole shift going on with him. And Dallas, you're definitely a massive part of what's going on with him right now.
Well, dude, it all came together with
kudos to you. What's that?
Thank you, brother. I said it all started with you freaking inviting me and inviting Lex. I didn't know he was going to be there. You know, I knew I was going to be there. If you asked me, I was going to be there. It's who I am.
Beware.
Be at Sting's last match.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were talking about either. You're talking about Revolution,
The last match. Now, let me tell you something. The other day, I had Lex down here in Panama City Beach. And we're having this great moment in time because Steve Hughes with us. You know, Steve is getting great interviews and, you know, just what we're doing together and working with. It's the same day a year later on the day of your last match.
Oh, wow.
What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
It's got to become a national holiday.
Well,
it should.
Yeah. The faith that he has is so strong. He's so strong, and just on the highest level I've ever seen it. And I'm so proud of him and everything that he does. And like I say, dude, it was because I was there when he was the Antichrist, you know, and I was there. And you guys know, because you guys driven with him for everywhere. Like Bagwell would have no problem freezing his ass off because he wouldn't be cold in the car.
He's the only one to freeze me out.
Friggin' me.
Yeah, same here.
I'm bringing the Parker and the gloves in August. You know, just to be able to ride with him. After a while, I'm like, bro, I'm out. I can't do it anymore. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, somebody would try to jump into our car, and they wouldn't make the weekend before they would dive out. That's an honest to God true story. Just from the workout, the tanning, the eating, the pills, the alcohol, whatever, the combination of the car was just way too much.
Yeah. We all ran hot, all three of us, you, me, and Lex.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean every flight, Marcus Bagwell, air.
Hey, Stinger, we shot that show, Change or Die, which is really just a documentary like we do with Lex, with Marcus. And boy, when you see he's all of that in a box of chocolate. I mean, it's unmerciful. I mean, when you guys see this, like you're going to be glued. You're going to be glued because
I'm looking forward to it.
Him. But look where he's at now. That's all it's going.
It was 75 degrees, and we're doing yoga. I'm like, what are we doing?
I'm talking about we're just hanging in the house before I ever get there. That's nothing. There's a lot of really, Marcus is in his, it's exactly what he needed to become this guy.
Absolutely, I think so. I agree with that. I agree.
No, you did. You did, bro.
Yeah.
You did.
Lex Luger, 2.5 years ago, started sending me a morning devotional. And I said, oh, that's sweet. That's so nice. What a wonderful thing. He has done it every single day since and does not miss.
Wow.
I for sure a year and a half ago thought, he's got that set on some kind of timer or something. He does not. He remembers every day. Sometimes it'll come late at night. Sometimes it comes at 6 a.m. But every day for the last 2.5 years of my life, he has sent me a devotional to Jesus Christ.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I know he sends one out every day saying, thank you for another day, Lord, so
he's unbelievable.
That's just on the checklist for him to do.
That is Larry Fowl, brother.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah. When I saw him, he called me. This has got to be about 9 years ago. I was in Atlanta. DDP Yoga was starting to take off. So maybe about 10 or 11 years ago. I'm not sure. But I was doing a signing in Buffalo. And Lex called me. He said, D, you in town? I'm like, yeah, I'm here, man. I go, are you? Because I know he's from Buffalo. He goes, yeah. I go, let's go to dinner. So we went to dinner. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when Eric Watts told me that there's a whole new Lex, I didn't believe him.
Eric Watts hated Lex,
Oh, hated him.
Hated him.
Wanted to kill him. Wanted to beat him up. And now I'm listening to him tell me that friggin' Lex is this different guy. And I'm like, bro, there's no way I believe that. I have to see that for myself. And I said, I got a show coming up in San Francisco. I think he's on it. I said, I'm going. So I
wow.
So
that's where it all went down.
That's where it happened. So I'm in my room, and I'm that guy. You pay me half for our leave. You pay me half when I get there. I don't work. So the other half he gave to me. And I said, let me know when Lex gets here. Because I had a phone at the time, but I said, I'll be in my room. Just call me. 20 minutes later, he calls me. He says, DP, Lex had a heart attack or something. I don't know. They had to kick the door in. I go, what? What? Where is he? And I ran down to his room. The door's off the hinges because when he fell and is hanging upside down and he's damn near choking, he couldn't get up and do anything. He had told me when he went to reach over for the phone, he fell over and landed on the ground and like suction cups pulling him into the ground. And I don't know any of this. I'm thinking heart attack. So I come running in the room and there's a guy and a girl, EMT. And the guy is like, Lex, you got to go to the hospital. He's like, hey, Dally. I woke up, I give him a hug. Lex, what's up, buddy? I go, what's the matter with your heart? He goes, oh, no, I'm good. I'm like, obviously you're not. And I have no idea that he's paralyzed. Zero. And the EMT's like, Lex, please, let's take you to the hospital. And he's like, no hospital. I'm like, Lex, I've heard about guys having some kind of, I'm thinking heart thing. And, it might be the best thing ever happened to you. He goes, well, you really think so, Dally? I'm like, yeah. He goes, my hips are really bad. He goes, I can't stand up, and I go, I'll help you up. And so me and that guy, EMT, picked him up, put him on the gurney, and he leaves. Again, I know nothing about his complete paralysis from his neck down. And then I start to hear, and I was living in LA at the time, but I'd come back and forth to Atlanta. Me and Steve Yu went there to see him. Yoga Doc was with us. And finally, Lex, he started to get the movement in his arm, got movement in his legs. And Then he moved to an apartment right across the street from it, and rehab film from 2009 of me and Lex working together on the floor, because that's all I had was standing up, or I know how to use a chair to do the program, which will help you get up and get down and all of the ads that you need, but he couldn't even do that. So I didn't have sitting in a chair yet. I hadn't thought that far through it. So I worked with him on the ground, and it helped him get up, and eventually used a walker, eventually used the cane. Now we're in Buffalo. It's 5 years later. And after we leave, because I was with a group of people, and when we leave, I go out to the car with him. I go, Lex, how did you end up back in the chair again? And he said, honestly, D, he said, I stopped doing what you showed me. He goes, I'll never do that again. He goes, it helped. And I got a little full of myself because I got that cane, and I don't want that cane. And one day I was going across the street, and I kept something like that. He hit a pothole. He went down, and he'd been in that chair ever since. So when we get to your final match, you got 5 more matches before, when me and him were talking. So me and him were just talking, and he says, D, I saw the Butterbean video. He said, I didn't know you had chair stuff. He said, I think I could do that. Do you think maybe we could do that? I said, you still living in Atlanta? He said, yeah. I go, yeah, call me tomorrow and we'll set it up. And I got to have an elevator in the house, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. So bring in once a week. And the really cool thing about this is that Lex could only do certain things then because his muscles are all atrophied. So I stuck with so basic, and we'd film it. And the first one was like 14 minutes. And then he left, and we sent him that to work on. The next one was 18 minutes, and then 20, and built up to 30 to 35 minutes. But every single workout I've ever done with him has been a little bit more challenging. So if there's a lot of people that are our fans who are in wheelchairs that aren't paralyzed, but they've lost their mobility because they stopped doing it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So yeah. Long story short, that's the goal started, Stinger, at your last match. I mean, you want to talk about it, I got to say it, the hand to God, through so many things that have been with us, all of us, and Lex, and, pretty crazy. And I want to go back to Knobs here. I know you guys had to get a huge kick out of him. And unfortunately, he was like that all the fucking time. Like all the time. And there was no tune down. I was with Knobs in the AWA as a manager in 1988. That's my introduction to those wild men.
Wow.
And yeah, like in the beginning, like they knew Kimberly before we were married. Like the day we got engaged, I ran into the Nasty Boys and Tony and Luke the Bushwhacker in Tampa. We all had I have so many great moments with Brian Knobs. I wouldn't ask anybody to do what I wouldn't do myself. And I'm going to share this around as well. So share it. If you don't have a couple bucks, don't stretch yourself. But you can share it. That costs nothing. And guys out there, he was a really good guy. There's times where he's done some really absurd shit, but for the most part, he's a good dude. He needs a little bit of help, and I've never seen it. Marcus, I'm putting you over. Give yourself high five, brother. You and Chase here for putting this together, because again, when you helped, there's a point in Change or Die, and I'm not going to say what happens, but you help somebody, and I was like, and you move them in my house because you knew that I would be cool with it.
Right.
But it's a great moment. Like that was the beginning of Marcus Alexander Bagwell turning a corner and caring more about something but just himself.
Else but me, yes.
Proud of you,
Very
bro.
true.
Proud
Very true. Yes.
It's incredible.
I agree.
Where's Change or Die at? I mean,
in March it will be out.
Really?
It will be out. Yes, we're on the final.
I love it.
It will mark something like that. All I'll say to anybody who's watching, you kind of will be able to figure out where some of it's going at times, but when it gets to the end, and we will never say anything, and it won't. How we'll do it when we put it up. We're talking to Amazon right now, and they want at least 2 or 3 episodes to start, but there's 9. I'm not letting out more than 1 a week because I don't want anybody to see that last episode until everybody sees it at one time. And there's not one person on the planet that will see it coming.
No.
Like nobody. Because it was like, it had me with my jaw open. And it's Steve Yu is the guy, and you know Stinger.
Genius.
What do they call those matches you had with Darby? The tag match you guys did. We're like movies. What do they call that?
Cinematic.
Yeah. You know what a genius Steve Yu is. I mean, Cat could tell a story and get the right angles for you to see it. And
he was the guy, Steve. He was the guy, the Asian guy that you were throwing a bat to do something, and you did it with one take.
Yeah,
he talks about that.
Yeah, that was Darby was 2 stories up, and he was supposed to throw his bat down to me. I was supposed to catch it, and Tony Khan said, "No, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's too dangerous." I said, "Tony, no, we can do it." He goes, "Oh, Steve, I don't want you to get hurt." Tony, I got this. And now even Darby, who he'll do anything, and he trusted me, but even he was going, man, I don't know.
That means something.
I go, Darby, are you kidding me? Get up there and throw that down. Anyway, I caught it and it worked. So.
Yeah, he was that guy. So
wow.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we got one more guest joining us right here, the Boogeyman.
What's up, gentlemen? God bless everybody.
God bless you.
What's going on?
What's up, guys? Everybody's good, I see.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Boogie. We appreciate you.
Hey, I thank you guys for letting me be a part of it, man. It's such a great thing that you can get a bunch of guys, to come together and help Brian get through what he's going through right now. And just thank God for the brotherhood. Just one thing about WWE, man. It is definitely a brotherhood. It's a good fraternity of people that really do what they can to help each other, man.
I got to tell you guys, the first time I saw Boogie, I was living in LA, and they were doing a tryout for Tough Enough. And this thoroughbred, I mean, looked like Bo Jackson. Boogie was like unbelievably shredded. And when I say smoking the talent, I mean smoking everyone. And he pulls me aside. He goes, "D," he said, I need some advice. You did it at being 35, and so I really look up to you."
Yes,
and I go, "How old are you, Boogie?" I'm thinking 27, 28. He goes, 40. I go, "You're 40?" Wow.
DDP, I also want to say, man, you are doing an excellent job for the world, brother. What you're doing, I follow you 24/7, man, and it is amazing what you're doing now. And just like you said, what you did in WWE was outstanding. But what you're doing now will go. Oh my goodness, I'm serious. It's a great that you're helping the people that you're helping, man. You're changing lives, and that's what it's all about. But yes, thanks to you, man. You gave me some encouragement on that day. I remember that day perfectly, man. Perfect. I couldn't believe I'm sitting there talking to Diamond Dallas Page, man. They had kicked me off the show, because I lied, But I was hungry, and you gave me that encouragement, man. You said, "Go ahead and do it, brother. Do it."
Let me tell you something. Boogeyman, to this day, right now, still looks like a thoroughbred. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's got no fat around his waist. It's crazy.
Don't be so kind, Buff. I appreciate
Brother,
that.
I'm just telling the truth.
I appreciate that, man.
Wow. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, but God is good, man. It's unbelievable that I'm such a part of, such a good group of people. I'm around a good group of people here, man. And it's amazing. Life is what you make it, man.
100%, bro. 100%.
Yes, it is.
But like I said, I didn't have a chance to work with Brian, but every time that I came across and was with him and met him on the conventions or signings or whatever, he's always been super nice, super cool with me, man. He's never treated me any indifferent way, and he just it's sad what he's going through at this point in time. I mean, but I think he can get through it. I believe that he can get through this, with the help and the encouragement of his fellow brothers, because no man is an island. No man is an island, man. I think we can all pull together. The stronger we are together, than we are divided. So it's a good thing. Thank you, Buff, for having me on here, man. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me on here, man. Is there anything I can do? But Chase had me signing up at 6:00. I was so excited, man. I just finished my class. Also, DDP, I want to tell you another thing you gave me to do with my class, those 10-second push-ups, brother.
Great,
those 10-second push-ups. Are you kidding me? I mean, I do that even just to warm people up. They're like, who you get this from, man? The Diamond Palace page, baby. And that's real deal, man. But it's all good. It's all good. I hope Buff didn't tell you about the worst match of his life.
He's changing it now. It's not his worst match anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's gone.
I thought, man, it was horrible. It was fucking. I felt it was just fucking horrible. But,
it was a horrible event.
Yeah, it was a horrible event.
I mean, really, seriously, me and Bookie should have never been seen again.
No, bro, but you know what was so crazy about that? For us to get paid, we had to go right down on the main street of the cartels.
Oh yeah,
to get paid at a restaurant. He and I,
we
the only
shouldn't be here.
English guys, speaking guys there. Oh man, it was like, man, we got to get out of here.
Were you in Mexico?
They were in Mexico,
yes.
Yeah. in Mexico. And then the funny thing is, the guy comes up to me. I don't know if Buff got paid. Maybe he did or not. But the guy comes up to me and says, the guy comes and says, hey, Mr. Boogie, it's a little light at the door. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. That's it. Yeah, this one's on me. Just get me back to El Paso.
Get me on US.
I just want to get right back. Fuck that, Buff and I was like, Buff, then they had a sack of worms that was rotten, and Buff said, man, don't fucking do that shit. And it's like, you damn sure ain't putting that shit on me.
I said, please don't eat that. It was rotten.
Rotten worms. But yeah, that was one of my experiences with Buff, man. And I was like,
well, when he said it was the worst match, maybe it's the worst experience, because
yes.
that's when he was lumping them all together.
I swear to God, for the longest time, I thought he had heat with me for a while. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Buff, he's done his thing in WWE. He's one of the faces of WWE. So for me to get a chance to work with, I mean, I was like, man, all right, boom, it's one of the greats. We got it, and it was like horrible. It was
it was really just a horrible setup. I mean, I think the building was like condemned.
It was. It was
crazy.
They had the electricity coming from another building.
Yes.
Yeah, into that building.
Wow.
So it was like, wow, man. But yeah, it was really good, man. It was
Marcus?
Yes.
I'm gonna take off.
Stinger, thank you for everything.
Appreciate you.
You bet, man.
Love you, Stinger. See you later, brother.
Okay. See you guys.
All right, brother. See you guys later,
Thank
man.
you.
Love you, buddy.
Sir.
All right, you guys got me till 9.
You got
it. Beautiful day.
Or 10. It's 10 your time, right?
10 our time. 10 our time. Yeah.
I'm Panama City Beach. The place, Pages Retreat, is looking amazing.
Good.
It's not ready yet, but it will be. Probably. I'll rent the bottom half of the building on over the summer. But our first retreats will be in this fall, so I'm looking forward to that. That's the best time to be out in Florida, man.
Absolutely.
October, November. It's beautiful down here.
What do you got? What do you got going on down in Florida?
I built the Pages Retreat, Boogie, and it's where I'll do, because I used to go to Mexico all the time and do retreats, and I'm not a big fan of the water in Mexico, and I'm a bit of a water snob. So I came down here during COVID, and I didn't realize how close Atlanta was to Panama City Beach. Even though we wrestled there, the very last match that WCW ever had, Panama City Beach. I've got a poster that's signed, and the 4 of us are on it. Rick signed it. Scotty Steiner signed it. Jeff Jarrett signed it. I signed it. And I'm going to take that and put it downstairs in the gym here. But I built a gym, and I built a yoga studio, DDP yoga studio. And then there's 7 bedrooms that are all king-size bedrooms. And then the top floor, that's my place. So when I'm not around, we can just lock it off and no one can come up here. But it's very beautiful and tranquil. And I was really shocked because I've been down here on and off for the last 6 weeks, down here a lot. And the Gulf of America, by the way, the Gulf of America.
I love it.
It's quite feisty. Man, I'm going to sleep, the waves crashing, and we're up 4 floors, so it comes up through there. It's really beautiful. So my wife, and Marcus knows her well, she's a world traveler. She's climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. She's climbed Mount Fuji. She's seen the 7 wonders of the world. It was all in tribute to her mom when she passed, that she didn't get to fill her bucket list. So Paige went and filled the bucket list for her. So when we came here 4 years ago, as we were pulling into my friend's house who lives on the Gulf, she's like, wow, this place is beautiful. Man, if we lived here, I'd never want to leave. And I just turned around and I looked back and I go, remember you said that. And never thinking we would ever be here. But I don't want to go anywhere. I don't need. So now I build a place, Boogie, that people, I was this close to having Ozzy Osbourne. Really? Yes, they actually called me on 3. Jack called me. I finally talked to Sharon at the end. And, they've called me on and off over the last year because Ozzy has his last show at the end of the summer. And I told him, I'm too booked up right now, but May and June, so if you want me to work with Ozzy, I will be more than happy to do it because he's an icon. And I love his music. I had since I was a kid. And I actually grew up with Ozzy, being 69. But the thing that I would want for him, though, is I want him to come here because I have everything here. Him and Sharon could come, Jack could come, and I could do like I've done with Lex. Lex comes to my house, and that's there once a week. And he's always at my place. Now it's like every other week because he's getting better, and so many different workouts I've given him, he's growing and getting a little stronger. For Ozzy, though, it would be like an everyday thing, of trying to get him ready. And I got to, when Jelly Roll blew his back out, I got to call from them. He ended up getting it back on track right away. But it's pretty cool that, now once people see this place, they're going to want to come here to work because it's a destination. So this is my legacy, if you will.
Brother, it's a great legacy, man. I know Butterbean. He was talking to me, and one of the last times I saw him, up until just recently, he was the big difference that you've done to him when I saw him before, and he was like, he said, yeah, Boogie, he said, man, you owe all this to Diamond Dallas Page. He said, fuck, he was talking about getting in there and fighting my man Tyson just fought. We
couldn't get that fight, but he does have a fight.
Yes.
And he's going to be fighting on the Wednesday before WrestleMania.
Wow.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's got a fight. They're doing like 4 fights.
That is crazy.
I think the same building that WrestleCon is in. So that'll be
this
interesting.
Year? 2025?
This year.
Wow.
This year. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So is it a boxing match or a wrestling match?
I think it's a mixed martial arts, but I'm sure it's going to just be boxing.
Yeah.
Because he can't go to the ground, pop back up again.
Right.
So he'll be doing everything he can to stay on his feet. But Marcus is there, man. We had one of my good buddies, Josh Nair, had the gloves on with him, and then we had Anthony Gogo come and work as a bronze medalist in for the UK back in 2012, I think he was. Now he wrestles with AEW, but he got there and threw the gloves around with Butterbean, and he really looked good. So we'll see. I always wish for the best.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely stoked, brother, and he was like two different people from the time I saw him before to just now recently, man. I mean, like up and moving, standing straight up, upright, walking with with good posture, and and the beautiful thing is a big smile on his face. You know what I'm saying? Happy, it's like fucking back. So I salute you on that one, big brother DDP.
I appreciate you, boys.
Yeah.
All right, kids, I'm out of here. It's after
Thank you,
10.
Dallas. We appreciate you.
Bang.
Peace and love.
Thank you, guys.
You too, brother.
Thanks, Dallas.
Peace and love,
Thank you very
Dallas.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Any word on Chase? Any word on Rocky Turner?
Yes, he's going to be joining momentarily, and we also have David from Cauliflower Alley is going to be joining us momentarily as well.
Cool.
And I believe Bronwyn, Dynamite Kid's daughter, should be popping in as well. So we got a couple more coming. But Boogie, thank you so much for carving out time.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for being flexible, because I screwed up the times on you. So I appreciate you.
No worries.
But I made, let me say this though. I made Marcus watch that match back, and now it's not his worst match. So
I swear
brownie
to God,
points there.
I thought he had heat with me for the longest.
No, brother.
I would not.
No
I would look at
more.
him from the other side of the fucking arena. He said, Marcus, is Buff Bagwell? Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna be over here, brother.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Hey, all that matters is I love you now.
No, I love you too, brother. But that's just the amount of respect that I have for you and what you did for this business, man.
Thank you, brother.
But God bless you guys, gentlemen. I'm gonna sign out myself.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Anything else I can do, man, please don't hesitate to call.
Thank you so much, Boogie.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you, Buff and Chase. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.
I love you, buddy.
You too.
Love you too,
Take
boss.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and we've got the Dynamite Doll over here.
Hi, guys. I'm so good. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Lovely to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on here. I know you're close with the Knobs family, so it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Yes, thank you. It means a lot. Brian was a great friend of my father, and so I love giving back when I can and just helping spread awareness. So here we are. This is great what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your father, Dynamite Kid.
Yes.
Excellent. Love it.
Wow. One of the best.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
So how do you remember Brian?
I do. Yeah. So I would have been, 10-ish years old when he kind of was coming around my Uncle Brett's house, and we just loved the Nasty Boys. So they were so much fun. They're like the big goofy uncles, and yeah.
Well, he hasn't changed much at all.
Nope. He's still the big goofy uncle.
So yeah, I mean, my dad would have met them back in the 80s in Japan, and the 80s were a wild time, and they worked you hard. You're away from your family for weeks at a time, and you had to keep up, and the road trips were long, or the traveling was long. The parties were long. Where it was at. Yeah. So the one show, or when they first met, I guess they all went out after a show, and they're laughing, drinking, eating, lots of drinks. And I guess the Nasty Boys went outside for what my dad thought was a cigarette. And then they just never came back. And then he realized he was stiffed with the bill. So he grabs the bill, and it's huge because they'd been drinking all night. And my dad was pretty pissed off, of course, to say the least. And he was just ready to the next day at the show. He's like ready to fight them. And then he finds out that they were ribbed. They were told, no, you leave. The bill's good. Davey had told them, you're good to go.
Wow. So Davey had pulled the rib.
Yeah, and my dad had no idea, of course. And so he's ready to fight them. And they're like, oh my God, they're so confused. And they're pulling out their wallets. And They're like, I'm so sorry. Like they're genuinely concerned, pulling out their wallets and ready to pay. And then once they realized what happened, they're all laughing and they became best friends from there.
That's
very funny. It's a very funny business.
Yes,
absolutely.
So do you wrestle?
I am a wrestling manager. Yeah, I'm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
Born and raised here.
Okay.
And so the Dynamite Doll, Dolly Manson is what I go by.
Who do you manage?
So we have a wrestling faction called the Manson family, and his name is Moondog Manson. And so it's Dolly Manson, Moondog Manson, and whoever's wild enough to join us.
I love that. I love it. How old are you, darling?
I'm 40.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You look 30. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
I work in the beauty industry as well, so I gotta keep up with the trends.
There you go. Well, it's ever evolving, so a lot to keep up with for sure. Now I just got a text from Brian Knobs. So for everybody watching, he wants a message to go out. Thank you to everybody that's been on screen, everybody that's been in here watching this for the last couple hours. Thank you so much for the donations. I want to give an update on that, and then I'm going to read the rest of this. So currently the GoFundMe, I'm just going to update this, is over $16,000. So Thank you all. Thank you all so much. That's incredible. Now from Brian, from the man himself, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please tell them I'm not dead yet. I've been on the wrestler's death list for the last 30 years. And if they have to amputate, they can just call me Stumpy. But I'm seriously humbled. From Brian Knobs himself.
I love it. Good stuff.
Excellent.
Still got his humor. That's perfect.
Oh, that'll never leave. That'll never leave.
Never.
So we do have a special giveaway coming up here very soon from our good friends over at Matt Maniacs. They have some great action figures, but we also have David Difference popping in very soon from Cauliflower Alley. And Cauliflower Alley does amazing work behind the scenes with so many wrestlers. Buff, you and I were out there in Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Awards back in, it was August, I think.
Yeah, August.
Yep. So they gave you an award. They gave awards to different wrestlers, but they do a lot of amazing things behind the scenes for wrestlers as well. So we'll be having them on momentarily as well.
That's great. They call it that CAC, CAC. It's a really big thing, and they do a lot. Like I said, a lot of stuff. Brian, that whole team with Medusa and Brian Blair, and
that's great. A bunch of people. Yeah,
really, really unbelievable team out there. They run, and it's just it's every year, and it's out in Vegas. Have you ever attended that before?
What was that?
Have you ever attended the CAC awards or anything?
Oh, no, I haven't. No, my mom's always wanted to go. I know my uncle Ross Hart's always there.
Yep.
Yeah. You try to give it a go sometime. It's really a wonderful event to see.
Yeah. Here's David right now with Cauliflower Alley. How you doing, David?
There they are. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. How are you?
Good. Everybody can hear me?
Hey, David. How you doing, brother?
Buff Bagwell. That's my guy right there.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. Now I've been checking out the stream. Like it's amazing. Great stories. Like I've been on the whole time. So I don't think anybody was bored. And it looks like you guys are doing some good fundraising there, huh?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Just crossed the 16,000 line. And for everybody watching, guys, that link, it's not going anywhere. We're going to be wrapping up in the next little bit of time here, but that link is going to be here for a while, so you guys can click that. We're going to put a replay of this up probably tomorrow morning as well, because obviously time zones and stuff. That's been my challenge with this whole process is everybody's in a different time zone, but obviously it's not convenient for everybody to watch. So we're going to put it out tomorrow as well. So the link will be there. The GoFundMe is going to be there. So everybody, please, if you can, support our good buddy, Brian Knobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, in tone of this, like you guys were talking about CAC, that's 100% what we are all about. And I'm happy to announce that CAC, I just got off a board meeting. We just sent a check out to him to help out in his struggles right now. So
amazing.
real quick, for those that don't know, a lot of people just think CAC is maybe just an awards or just a gathering, which it is. Obviously, we honor the legacy of professional wrestling and everything you guys do. Buff, like you said last year, you got the men's wrestling award over there looking dapper and had a good time. But our main core, what we do is we raise money in our benevolent fund for situations like this. As you know, a lot of the legends or people that have been in the business, there comes a time where they may have fallen on hard times. And with that, like through our memberships, through our reunions, and anywhere you see us, if we're raising funds, 100% goes to help them with recovery, whether it's paying a phone bill, paying rent, paying medical bills. They just have to put in a request, and we get it approved and we send it off. It's just keeping that legacy alive of wrestling. And I guess you guys saw, Chase, you were there last year. I mean, they talk about reunion, but it's also a place where you just reunite and also meet new people. So it's
a great vibe. It's absolutely one of the best events I've been to. So really top notch. It's a signing combined with a banquet dinner. So you get to eat, you get to drink. If you're a drinker, you get to enjoy the presence of all these wrestling superstars that are, coming together. And it's not just about awards. It's guys just coming back like we did tonight, reconnecting and kind of having that reunion that you were talking about.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. Buff, how often does this happen where you get together a group like this and be able to tell those stories?
It's hard to say this in 2025, but what we did tonight's never been done. It really hasn't. I mean, if I was to call the people that was on my channel tonight and try to get us together for any other event, I don't think I could have got them together. It was the combination of it being Brian Knobs, somebody that's really dear and near to all of our hearts. And I think part of it was that. And the other part was just everybody was available. But you don't get that kind of roster for anything. It's just very hard to get those guys to come together and pull it off. But we did, and it was a great thing. And Chase started this idea, and we put it together really quick, and it just fell together. But the reason for the success of it is because for the person it was for. And Brian Knobs was loved by everybody that was on the show tonight. He was always laughing and fun and just a great guy. And so that's a big part of the reason for the success of the show.
Yeah. No, Knobs, I met him 2 years ago at the 57th annual reunion. They got the tag team awards, and that was my first experience with Knobs, and we had to cut his mic off at some point.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, he just goes.
I'd like to see a recording of that.
Yeah, I'll post it on the channel here. And then I met with him last year when we went out to Florida and talked to him, and just he's a great guy, definitely well loved in the industry, and so many memories of me growing up watching the Nasty Boys, and he just thinks
they were the coolest.
Yeah,
it's just a great tag team name. It wasn't like they were these big bodybuilder guys. They were the Nasty Boys, and I
really remember their gear too, with like the splatter paint on it.
Absolutely, and you got Sags missing, and it just worked, man. It just worked. It was just a great gimmick.
Right. They had the tattoos with their last names on there. Which funny story? a couple days ago, I get a call from Fred, who is a very close friend of Brian Knobs, and amazing
first
guy.
Of all, Chase, before you tell this, Chase,
absolutely,
David, spell Knobs.
I understand. I don't know how to spell it. It's KNOBS.
Ah, very good.
Is that it?
The world
of now it is.
So go ahead, Chase.
So if you go on Google and you type in Brian, and you won't even get to the first B, it's going to auto-populate and say Knobs is with 2 B's. So I get a call from Fred the other night, and he's like, one thing Brian said he saw, the last name is spelled wrong, and I'm like, and I'm like, how do you argue the spelling of somebody's last name with the guy himself, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wouldn't have made a mistake like that, would I? I'm not that dumb. So I go on Google, and sure enough, KNO. The rest auto-populates in 2 B's. If you spell it the way we have tonight.
WCW, everything was BB. Actually,
Right.
trading cards.
Yeah.
Trading cards like printed. So
Because I thought it was BB.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Google thinks. Siri thinks it. So, you know, you can't argue it. But then what Mark and I ended up doing, I was like, I think his name's tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. So we looked it up, and sure enough, 1B on the tattoo. So
there you have it. He knows.
That's like Bret Hart. Brett, they'll do 2 T's.
Oh,
yeah.
He always did that at the start of his career.
That's right.
Drove him nuts.
Yes, that is a good one. Yes. That
But
was,
it wouldn't be beyond Brian Knobs to misspell the tattoo, and now maybe the whole thing's a work.
right.
It wouldn't be beyond him. So,
So
we love you,
Bret,
Brian Knobs.
Was Bret Hart with 2 T's?
No, only one.
So Bret Hart was just 1 T with Bret.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that.
Once in a while, they'd throw it up with 2 T's, and then I think that really bothered him.
I can imagine. Like with Mark, it was the K. It was the
Yeah.
K I didn't want. I was Mark with a C. You know, Marcus, but I was Mark. But anytime somebody spell my name, it was with a K.
That's
Makes sense. I'm sure Bret Hart got it too with the last name too. You know, with people that didn't know that it was Hart. So
yes,
incredible. But we've got one more guest, and it's Rocky Turner here from Mat Maniacs. Rocky, what's going on, man?
How's everybody doing?
There he is.
Hello.
We are good. We are good. It's been a long. I'm looking at the clock here. We've been doing this almost 3.5 hours, but
yes,
man, it went by pretty quick. We had
It has.
Pay-per-view.
It was so much fun,
I've
man.
been
So
sitting here enjoying the conversations and some of the backstories of some of the stuff. It's been
the
really
stories have been great, especially, and I love the mini WCW reunion that we had. It was, I mean, where can you get that, right? It's incredible.
I have to say something though. It is surreal for me and Marcus, especially, how we've come back to this format from where me and Marcus started. So, like, we did our first signing, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago,
and this is what kind of started your career, right?
It did kind of start around that time, and then we came
your
up
career
with,
in this.
Yeah. Because I had you here in my hometown, and then and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm like, Marcus is calling me. He's like, yeah, there's no more conventions. And a lot of us need to work. And then right after I talked to you, Hacksaw called me. He's like, yeah, I had to cancel like 30 some appearances. I'm not sure what we're going to do. So I said, hold tight. I said, let me put my thinking cap on, see if we can come up with something. And that's when we stumbled on the whole StreamYard thing. And next thing you know, we're booked.
Bischoff.
Yeah, we're booked all the way through late 2021. And we were doing 2, maybe 3 every week.
That's incredible.
But it's funny how, and I see Lisa, Victoria, she's online a lot too. And I just see how that little bit of a push into the technology world has kind of brought us all back.
It's incredible.
The same format. So it's really cool how things have come around full circle for us.
Yes. What do you got for us, Rocky?
Well, how do you guys want to do this? I mean, I got some stuff to show.
Absolutely. If you have them there, put them up. I can actually, I might be able to pull them up on screen too from the pictures that you sent me.
I came prepared. So this is our brand new, a little bit of a glare there. These are our brand new Mat Maniacs. I don't really want to call them retro figures. Now, we can't really see them really well in the box, but I mean, they got beautiful artwork on the back. They're in a protective case right now. So the actual figures are right here.
Show us.
Oh, there they go.
Oh, nice.
So there's
the Warriors.
Yeah, that's Joe.
That's dope.
And of course, there's Mike.
There you go.
Right.
Sorry, Hawk Animal.
Yeah, Hawk
Animal. We got you.
The guys. And of course, we did the Steiners too. So we got Rick there. And these are in a 4-inch figure. And then there's,
they're great.
That's Scott. This is Rick.
Yeah.
There you go. Looks great.
Right.
They do look great.
Incredible.
So how we
been getting really good reviews for them. I mean, I think
are these your first figures, or you've made a lot more?
I've been.
There we go. We got a close-up photo right there for you.
There you go. Been making toys for the last couple years, 2.5 years probably. Well, thank you. We've been busy. I mean, we got the pre-order for the Series 1 is still open till Sunday.
Perfect. And we've got a link for everybody that's interested in the description of this as well. So really, really kind of you to bring those into the mix for us tonight and to do a little giveaway for the viewers here.
Well, happy to do it. Like I said, I've been friends with Brian for probably as long as I've known Marcus, probably at least 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. And been really struggling. I mean, one haymaker after another. Yeah. And this one's probably been the biggest. I mean, just one thing after another, black cloud after black cloud. Right. So I try to check on him as much as I can. And whenever I seen he was in the hospital, I was like, it's just obvious. We got to do something. We got to do something to help. So, yeah, we're going to give away 4 sets of these, and that includes both the Steiners and the LOD.
Love it. That's excellent.
However you guys want to do it.
Well, you know what? How about Dolly Manson over here? Can you see the comments on the side by any chance?
I can't.
Okay. I think there's a little tab somewhere over there where there's like a comments tab. Mm-hmm. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Let me click on there. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So for everybody that's watching, I want you to overwhelm her by saying entered, and she's going to pick. How many winners are we picking today, Rocky?
4.
4 winners.
Yes, do 4.
So you didn't know you were going to be working tonight, but we're going to make you work for this one.
Anna White.
Right.
So what are we looking for?
So they're all going to enter into this by just saying enter or entered.
Okay, Barry Frost, you are 1.
All right.
Adam Wright.
Adam Wright.
You guys writing this down, or should I?
Well, it's recorded. So what we're going to have them do is to the 4 winners, you're going to email us here at the channel.
Electronic earrings.
Say it again.
Electronic earrings.
Electronic earrings.
Yeah. And Mike D.
Mike D. Excellent. So for those 4 winners that are in here because you entered, you're going to email us at marcusbuffbagwellyt at gmail.com.
And you're going to get both of these.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Wow.
Coming your way.
Love it. Incredible.
Excellent. I love it.
And for those who didn't win, like I said, the pre-order's still open until Sunday.
And the link is in the description of this video, guys.
Our new series of Series 2 will go on pre-order on Monday. Little St. Patrick's Day luck, I guess. We have the major players. We've got the Hardy Boys. We've got Powers of Pain. And then our 4th set is actually going to be a WrestleCade exclusive, but we're going to allow everybody to have equal opportunity to pre-order those as well. Or you can actually pick up a set at the show in November. So
perfect.
Got all that going on.
Excellent. And your website has beautiful photos of all of these. So I encourage everybody that's interested, jump over to the website, link in the description of this video. You can see everything that's coming. You can pre-order. Lots of great stuff going on over there. So we thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Marcus, I really appreciate you letting me in on this successful show. It's been really great.
Thank you, Rocky, so much. You're a special friend, and we just hit it off right away, and I hope to see many more years of our friendship.
Same, brother. Same.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you so much. And David, Bronwyn, thank you guys so much for joining us as well. And to everybody that's already been on, thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody that's in here. I mean, we still have several hundred people watching right now. So thank you all for being generous. Thanks for thinking of Brian, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Remember, if you don't have a couple bucks to spare, please share the if you want to share, this whole experience with somebody, send it to a friend, but definitely check out the GoFundMe link and share that around, because it's going to go to a great cause and really help Brian out in this difficult time.
And we're going to have this play again tomorrow, right? With the QR code.
we're going to have this play again tomorrow right here on the Buff Bagwell YouTube channel. So this will be, I'll probably play it twice tomorrow, just so everybody can, get in here and take a look and help Brian out some more. So thank you guys very much for watching.
They're just asking on the side what the email is again.
Marcus Buff Bagwell YT at gmail.com.
Marcus Buff Bagwell YT at
gmail.com. And you can find it. It's posted on the YouTube channel here. So you'll be able to find it on there as well. You can copy and paste it right over. It's in the information section on here. So you guys can hit us up anytime. Thank you guys so much. And again, thank all of you guys for doing this with us.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks for having me.